Hey, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Tina, how are you? You seeing cherry pick edits? Which show are you referring to? What show are you referring to? Are you referring to Australia, or are you referring to Married at First Sight, Boston? Let me know. So I'm gonna give it a minute or two, let a couple people pop in, and then we'll go ahead with the chat. I know normally I do this on a Saturday, but in this particular case, we're going the next day after both episodes aired for the week. So I do see some more folks popped in. Say hello. Hey, David, what's going on? How are you? I know it's a Thursday. It's a Thursday. I know I normally do Saturday, but I wanted to, after the Married at First Sight, Boston was yesterday, and then also after Married at First Sight, Australia for this particular week. So I wanted to go ahead and jump in. Hey, Tassie, how are you? How are you? My OG crew is popping in. How you guys doing? I'm going to give it about another minute and we're going to go ahead and get started with this live. I know it might be a little bit off. It's a Thursday. Oh, that's right. It is Friday where you are, David. I forgot. You guys are 16 or 17 hours ahead of me. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yep. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and get this live started. I know it's on a Thursday or Friday, depending on where you are. Hey, Terry, what's going on? How are you? How's your week going? How is your week? Some really interesting news on Australia couples. Really? Really, David? It's not spoilers, are they? You know, you can hit me up, offline and let me know what's really going on. Hey, Kim, how are you? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna get the easy folks out the way. Oh, good. I'm glad you had a good week. So we're gonna start off with Married at First Sight Australia, and this week was feedback week. Well, we left. Yeah, this is the feedback week, and we had a dinner party this week. So some couples are going stronger than ever. We had a groom that got a reality check from his bride. Another is left questioning whether he should write or stay or leave at the upcoming commitment ceremony. And then it was a lot going on, especially with this whole body slam thing that Al did. I'm like, dude, oh my God, I'm surprised. As soon as he make progress, he do something crazy. He do something crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, you have a spoiler about tomorrow? No, Kim, if you have access to Instagram or you can email me, let me know because some folks in the chat don't like spoilers. So I don't want to spoil it for everybody. All right, so let's start with our primary couples this week, which let's go with, let's see. Ian and Carolina. Okay, we're going to go with this one. Let's talk about Matt and Kate. You said that boy Al is not right. I know he had to do two, not one. He did two body slams on that table. It's like, oh my God, dude. Soon as you're making strides, soon as you're making strides with your wife, you go and do something crazy. I will DM you on IG. Okay, cool. Thanks, Kim, because I want to know what you talking about. All right, so let's talk about Matt and Kate. So I don't know if he's just wishful thinking, delusional, because he keep complimenting and seeing all the great things, and Kate is not giving him anything this week. Anything. I've been seeing the messages in my comment section. I mean, the term Ice Queen comes up on a regular basis when speaking about Kate. Even on some of the Married at First Sight Australia groups that I'm in on Facebook, Ice Queen is the number one term that they describe for Miss Kate. But I mean, okay, if you've dated, you maybe even have sex with people, but nobody ever called you your girlfriend, you've never been in a relationship. Now you have the one thing, because she asked the experts, she asked the experts about finding her someone who thinks she's attractive and someone that's nice to her and sweet and give her perfume and everything she wants. And she got just that. She got that. And it's just, I don't feel a spark. Okay, so, and he's not a bad looking guy. So I don't understand where her walls are with this guy. I mean, do you find him just not physically attracted to you? What is your type if you've never been in a relationship? Or is it one that you made up in your head that really truly don't exist? Cuz sometimes people have this idea of what they want in a mate and all these traits and what they look like, and that person might not exist. So I'm wondering if that's the same thing with Kate. She's not even giving it a chance. Al is the golden retriever. Oh my gosh. That's funny, Tassie. He's delusional. I'm wondering if he is. Matt is really delusional. I don't understand his behavior. She is unrealistic. She wants Mr. Perfect. She's destined to be alone forever. Absolutely. And she's 38 years old. So I don't know if she wants children at all. Um, I mean, like I said in, previous lives when we were talking about Holly, I mean, anecdotally, there are some women out there who give birth past 35, but technically at age 35, you hit geriatric pregnancy according to gynecologists and obstetricians. So I don't know if she want kids, but at some point, what are you going to do? You're going to end up being by yourself, because this guy might be the one person that fits and check all of your boxes. Let's see. I feel bad for him and Dion for getting bad deals in the experiment. Yeah, I don't even know what the experts were thinking, especially with the Dion Carolina match. Kate makes me think of blanched milk. Oh my God, Terry. Kate might be awful combination of being boring and having too many expectations. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if you don't like the guy, but she is she an introvert? Maybe she's extremely introverted, and if she still haven't dealt with her bullying, the issues of her being bullied in her younger years, I mean, you probably need to, because I'm a definite supporter of mental health. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and if she hasn't dealt with those unresolved issues, she could have the man of her dreams come and tell her that she's beautiful, and she'll never believe it because she don't believe it herself. Kim says, oh wait a minute. Let's see. Okay, David says it's not advised after 35, and in Australia the doctors actually advise you that it's not advisable to go ahead. Yeah, I mean, I know here, that's one thing that obstetrics and OB-GYN physicians state that once you around 35 you are in geriatric pregnancy, so your risks are a lot higher. Kim says if she don't want him, I'll take him. Go get him, Kim. Go get him. Tina says remind me of a Seinfeld episode. Really? Okay. David says she doesn't really want kids, she's fine without having kids. Oh, okay, so she don't really, that's not a priority for her. Okay. Producers put these couples together for drama and TV views, and that sucks because at some point you mess with the mental health of these people. Now, granted, they sign up for a show, But if you purposely, as a producer or production team, putting people together just to get, drama, these people get caught up in the crossfire. I mean, that's just my thoughts. He is a bit over the top, but she is so unrealistic in her willingness to try and build a connection. That's the other thing. And I agree with you, David, because she's not even trying to build a connection. This man is doing everything possible to make her feel comfortable. She told him about her past. He said, okay, well, I'll just take a step back and, I'll follow your cues, but she's not giving him any cues. She's not trying, she's just there trying to, as she call it, figure out a friendship. Oh my, I'm still trying to figure out a friendship with him. She has officially friend zoned this guy. Hey Brian, how are you? Welcome. I can't see him as a foster parent. Not to say he wouldn't be good, just surprising that he's now on the show. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. He seems like a very warm, caring individual. I mean, from what it seems. He was previously married before, so this would be his second marriage. But for her, she's never even been in a relationship before. So I mean, I just don't get it how these two could have been matched. The other thing is maybe they could have put him with Holly. I mean, Holly is a bit high strung, but I think she would have mellowed out with a guy like Matt. Tassie says Kate expects everything from men while offering nothing herself. Yeah, that's the thing. When you get into a relationship, both people have to bring something to the table. I mean, she wants something, but don't you think that man wants something as well? You guys have to support, get to know, build a connection with each other. Now, I will say you kind of run a fine line if you're not attracted to somebody, but if you're that person that's just that picky, don't go on a show like this or Love is Blind if you know that attraction or physical attraction is important to you, because the chance is that you might build an emotional connection. But if you don't build a physical attraction, don't come on a show like this, because it's going to blow up in your face, and production is going to make you make you the drama of the season, because they automatically know that from a lot of people, most people are attracted by what they see. Oh, shit, I like her style. I like his style. I like his swag. I like the way she carry herself. She really looks good. So they know that there are going to be some people that come to these experiments who in the back of their mind say, hey, I'll allow you to choose a mate for me. But for the most part, these people are also going to want to be physically attracted to them. So production knows that. That's why you'll get some folks who they perfectly match, like Olivia and Jackson, right? And then you get others that's like want to throw just get upset because there's just nothing there with the person that they're not attracted to. Because we got to talk about Carolina as well. But as for with Kate and Matt, yeah, it's just not there. And he's so pulling for Kate to be interested in him, and she's just not giving it to him at all. Hi Highlander, what's going on? I won't be shocked if Anthony, Dion, and him get casted for Bachelor Australia. Hey, I didn't know they had a Bachelor of Australia. I hope it's better than the one here, because this season, which is about to end in another week or two, the Bachelor here is just boring. So I gotta let me know. You guys send me a message or something, or let me know when Bachelor Australia comes out. I'd be interested to see what it's about. David says her reaction to him giving her the perfume was just so surprising, like no sincere appreciation. It's always a problem with a lot of ladies listing what they want in a man, but never wondering what that man wants from them. Absolutely. Going back to your first comment, um, the perfume, because she wanted a man who buy her perfume. And this guy goes and buy her perfume, and she's like, yeah, wow, oh, okay, this is nice. You didn't have to. And I'm like, she's just not into him. I hope they both, honestly, on the commitment ceremony number 4 coming up this weekend. I'm hoping that they both just say no and just go home. Just go home. It's unfortunate that, he came on this show and then he didn't find, love. But as for Kate don't want to be here. She don't want to be with him. She's not actively interacting. She doesn't have this extroverted, even you can be balanced. You don't have to be so extroverted that it's just over the top. But at least she's just cold. And basically she says, "Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah." It's like, okay. Come on. Have a conversation. So, um, and the second comment, David, yeah, a lot of times there's a laundry list of what we as women want, but there's also things that that man wants. And a lot of times, and I don't know about in Australia, but I know here, I'm not going to say all, but I have noticed that, a lot of women feel that they don't have to come to the table. A lot of them say that they are the table. So, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. I actually did a video about that about a couple months ago on my channel. So if you want to check that out, you can. But yeah, I see where you're coming from. Kim says Carolina's white dress was nice. It was pretty. It was, and it looked good on. At least I could say that about her being on screen this week. That dress was gorgeous. Tassie said, I dated a guy who was very handsome, but his personality was so terrible. He looked ugly to me very quickly. Yeah, it can work both ways. So you can have somebody that you're not attracted to, but they're a great guy or a great girl. At the same time, you can have somebody just drop dead gorgeous or just fine, but the personality is sucks. So it can work either way. Um, at Kim. Yeah, that dress was beautiful, but poor personality. Yep. David said, even if they say no, the experts would tell them give it time. Except like Daniel's ex-wife, they continue on the show. I mean, at what point do these people, when if you're gonna offer them the opportunity to leave, and they say leave, let these folks go. Why push them into something just to continue to get content? And at the same time, these people are getting angrier and angrier, or sadder and sadder, or whatever the situation is. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. David said, honestly, I feel like she has some personal problems. I mean, the way she's behaving on this show with the eye rolls, pouting, it's embarrassing. They don't know this show can affect their business. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, if you guys watch Love is Blind, Shake is getting hit on all sides. I mean, from Deepti's family, from social media. He's a veterinarian, he has a business. What That's why if you go on, I know a lot of times these people go on these shows as a way to build their social presence, because of course the more eyeballs that you have around you, the more you can market to them. I get it. But in some cases somebody got to be the villain, and these shows make sure that they have a villain, and if it happened to be you, it can affect your business or your brand. So you sometimes you got to think twice before you get into this. Let's see. Honestly, okay, Shake was horrible. Yeah, I mean, it's right now it's then become socially, what's the word I want to use? Um Social media is having a field day right now. And the finale, not the finale, the reunion comes out tomorrow, and he has a villain edit already posted by Netflix. So there's a clip, and it's the comment section was crazy. He was trying to defend himself, but it's not working. I've seen some viciousness, but yeah, it's going to be crazy this weekend. He might want to shut his social media off for a while, because yeah. Anywho, that's a whole nother show. I doubt these two will ever get physical. Of course not. She's not gonna. Kate is not going to let Matt anywhere near her when it comes to intimacy. She can barely be his friend. So imagine trying to get intimate or hold this girl won't even let him hold her hand. I mean, you can't get hold your hand. He can't even get that. So, I'm hoping that these two, honestly, I want them to go home. I mean, stop wasting his time, because she's she obviously is not interested in him at all. Even at the dinner party, people were trying to socialize with her, and she had a few things to say, but it wasn't nothing of any, like, what we can remember. You know what I mean? And it's just so unfortunate that at the cocktail party and at the dinner party, she was just there. She was just there. And I mean, he had some things to say. But I will say that after the dinner party, Matt, because he heard everything and how she felt, um, he did realize that the relationship is declining. So I think he's kind of getting a clue. I mean, he even asked her, what have you done to help our relationship, And she, what she said? She was like, I've been with you 24/7. I've had dinner with you. I sleep in the same bed with you. We wash clothes together. I sit on the couch and watch TV with you. But Matt still clapped back with her and saying, hey, you still ain't giving me a chance. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, she actually participated in what she was told to do, but it wasn't like, you know, unless we're missing something. But I don't think we are. I really don't think we are. Um, let's see. Pixman, hi, welcome. 38, never been in a relationship. It's not gonna happen for her. She's a lost cause. Yeah. I mean, at 38, the older people get, the more set in their ways they get. So, I mean, if she already just have this whole picture in her mind of who the guy she wants to be married to is, and this person, like I said, really doesn't exist, she's going to end up single, probably for the rest of her life. Now, I don't know that, I mean, people are seeing, I know that sometimes being on these shows, like I said, your social media presence build, because there are people from many shows that maybe didn't stay married on any of these arranged marriages or relationship shows, but because they've had a presence, they end up marrying people that was never on the show. They meet somebody in the world, they end up getting married and have kids. I've seen couples from Married at First Sight US do that. I've seen even Married Love is Blind and some of these other shows that they end up, because they are now out there, people now come from for them, trying to get to know them and date them. So I'm wondering, I don't know if this will work for Kate, because I would think people, guys who do watch the show, they'll be looking like, I don't know if not interested. So I don't know. I don't see it in the cards for her right now unless she make a turnaround, or this is 110% an act and she has a totally different personality outside the show. But it just seemed like this is natural for her. So I don't know. We'll definitely have to see, but I'm over the two of them. I wish Matt kind of would wake up. And it seems like he was after the dinner party, and let these two, move on and find the person that you meant to be with. David said, but in situations it happened like that when you show up well on the show, not how exactly. She's not coming across well, so it's not too. Now, I will say I know a villain. I mean, a lot of people didn't like how she treated her husband. And this young lady was from Married at First Sight in the US season 10. She just got married last year, and now she just announced yesterday that they're expecting a little boy. So, and you have people in her comment section telling him to run. She treated her husband like trash. Don't let her do the same thing to you. So, I mean, it can happen, people that get the villain edit or the sour edit or whatever you want to call it. Um, I guess, folks don't care, or they just don't know or have seen the show and they end up meeting. But again, that has nothing to do with them being on the show. Yep, Kim, that was Katie. You're absolutely correct. She got married last summer to a guy named Brandon. It must be a Kate thing. Yeah, I don't know. Kate has to loosen up, show a little bit more personality. She has to relax. If she have resolved unresolved issues with how she see herself from years past, she got to deal with that. Because even the guy, just say that guy does exist that's in her head, and they approach her tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, she gonna have the same problem because the common denominator in that situation is her. You got to fix what's going on with you in order to get what you want. I mean, it is what it is, but hopefully she'll get to see that. David says she looked weird, not even like a villain. Yeah, it was just dry, cold, cold, dry, not giving any effort, and in some cases with how the fans see her, like you say, villain can be, yeah, villainous, me, you were horrible to your partner. um but yeah, she's just being cold, late, sour, not sour, but just cold and no personality and not trying, no effort, nothing. So we'll have to see what happens with these two. I hope they say leave, so put him out of his misery. Let him find somebody who's going to like his personality, his warmth, his charm. He's so open. I mean, he's open enough to do a shoey with Al. I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing because he's 39 years old. I mean, Al is 25. But he's definitely open and friendly. So let him find somebody who he match up well with, right? So hopefully we'll see what happens with those two. And then you know, maybe they'll go home. Maybe they'll say leave. So this was a big issue with these two. And that situation is Dion and Carolina. So I know you guys probably saw that video. I did a recap on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday of US time, because I know some of you guys are a day ahead of me in Australia. I called Daniel, because remember Daniel was paired with Jess. Jess left the day after the commitment ceremony. She was done. She didn't even settle in. She moved her suitcase in and 2 minutes later moved her suitcase out. Oh, hi, Phoenix. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are so welcome. I appreciate the comment. Um, but in regards to Daniel, he had said at the last dinner party that he was attracted to Carolina, and Carolina is also attracted to him. Now, here's the thing. Just like we used to hear on Married First Sight US, where we had Alyssa saying, I'm a good person, I'm a good person, I'm a good person. Her favorite buzzword, meaning Carolina, is like, he likes to go to the gym. I like to go to the gym. I like a man to go to the gym. He don't go to the gym. And everybody in my comment section was like, um, going to the gym is not the primary thing to build a connection on. But it was so funny how that's all we pretty much heard her say, which was her biggest connection was going to the gym and listening to certain types of music. Dion was trying. This man wrote a letter. This man went and got flowers from their original wedding venue. He cooked. He did everything to get the attention of Carolina, and because her mind was so focused on Dion, he hit a brick wall. Seriously. Okay, let's see. Tassie. Oh, there you go again, Tassie, with them aggressive eyebrows. Some people actually call that a powerful arch, but I guess it depends on who it's on. Kim said, "Oh yeah, she did say that 100 times, and the whole saying that she was Latina. Even the experts, and I think Alessandra is also Latina, and she was not happy about the fact that she was using that because it almost sounds like you're trying to use a stereotype." And Alessandra, who is one of the experts, was like, please, pretty much saying, why you keep using that? Because it was I guess it was kind of, I would say, low key offending her as well. She reminds me of Alyssa with the way she acts. Yep, Highlander. Hey, Celery. Dion should have told the group that she put Dan as number 2 on the photo list. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, too, about the whole photo challenge. Now, honestly, let me ask you guys a quick question. And you guys either say yes or no down in the chat section. Do you like the photo challenge or don't? Yes or no? I personally don't. But what do you think? Do you like the photo challenge? Alexandra is going to check her on that. Yeah, yeah. I can't wait because she's definitely going to say something about that on the commitment ceremony. Like in breakfast too. Yeah, she did say that. The whole stereotype that puts all in a monolith. Yep, that's true. She's just pulling imaginary straws. Yeah, I mean, about that photo challenge, because we didn't even bring that up when it came to Matt and Kate. Kate actually put Matt at number 3. I actually thought that she was going to put him in the bottom. She put him at number 3. And I think not only were we shocked, Matt was shocked too. And he was happy about that. And then she turned around, saw how happy he was by being in the third, as he called it, the bronze medal position. She got like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I ranked him too high. And, oh, by the way, maybe I should have put you in the back because I might be giving you false hope. And I'm like, oh, geez. Okay, so here we go. Kim says no. Terry says no. Hey, Miss Buffalo. She said nope. Sorry I missed your early discussion of Kate and Matt. She put Matt in her top 3. I know. That's crazy. Asheray, I hope I pronounced that correctly. How you doing? I don't like the photo challenges unnecessary. Kate gave herself and her pathology away with the photo list. She doesn't like him and can't take it for some reason. Yep. Yeah, I don't like that photo challenge either. I just, why would you? Because it kind of, just say, for example, because we had a couple of the guys put other women at the top of the list. And I know, was it Samantha? She was on the top of a few people's lists. And I think maybe Brent might have made a few of the ladies' lists. I don't know. But it kind of, if they had an insecure person within the couples, and your man said, I find one of the other wives, or the man or one of the ladies found one of the other husbands attractive, now you're really trying to get something started. It's like, why am I who am I really attracted to here? And it's like, you're supposed to be building on your attraction with each other. Why do you want to know if your partner is attracted to one of the other people in one of the other couples? That's crazy. So, anywho, why was Dan in the photo challenge? He was already gone. I know, right? But you know why they did that, because they knew Carolina was interested. I like it. Kate that showed she does like Match and proved that she has deeper problems. Yeah, that's a good point. Because why would you put him as number 3? She actually thought putting him as number 3 would have triggered him to be pissed off. But that's the thing. He doesn't have that huge ego like that. So he was so happy to be number 3. Brent is a little cutie. Okay, Kim. All right. David said it's because Samantha is a typical Aussie beauty standard. Oh, okay, gotcha. Celery says with Kate though, it worked. She said she had no chemistry, but obviously she liked him. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Now back with to Carolina and Dion, that man did so much, but because she was already connected with Daniel, see, and here's my thing. Why, as the experts, what are you looking at when you match these people? Now, honestly, I've said this in some of my recaps. I do know production has a hand in this because they need drama. If they matched up everybody perfectly and everybody was compatible, where would the drama come along unless they made up some drama, right? So I guess they have to kind of put some folks that are not a match together, you know? But still, that's it's not a cool thing to do because you get damaged in the process. Look what's happening to Matt. Look what's happening to Dion and some of the other people who are no longer here. We can't, I mean, Anthony Selin was just horrible to that guy, you know. I'm glad we don't have to get to talk about her that much now. But she was horrible to Anthony. Seriously. And we can't forget about Andrew either. You know, it's like, why would you put somebody who's not really interested in having children with somebody who needs to have a child this year? That doesn't make sense. So, um, Phoenix says, for me, Carolina is a selfish person who does not take into account the feelings of her partner and does not empathize. No, she's pretty much concerned about her own interest. And because they've only known each other, what, a good week, there's no connection there. There's no connection. Um, let's see. It was when Carolina called out Dion on the photo challenge, saying he was lying when she said she was number one. Yeah, that she was projecting. She knew because remember I called her having Daniel as her little sneaky link, but she knew she wasn't interested in this man, and because it would make her look that much worse by this man making her number one, she tried to make it look like he was lying about everything that was coming out of his mouth. She's being very passive aggressive and she was projecting because you know you're wrong. So now you're going to make him wrong. I'm going to make you wrong. You're not being honest. How are you making me number one? That's because you're not making him number one and you know it, you know. And she didn't want to take accountability in that moment. She could have been like, oh, I appreciate that, but you know what? I'm not interested. But no, she tried to make it look like it was him. Yeah, tried to gaslight this man to say, no, 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 you don't know what you're talking about. You're the one that's lying. I'm number one. Oh, come on. You can't be honest right now. Carolina is not as hot as she thinks she is. I think their matches were fair, though. I mean, they went based on what people said they wanted, but the people show up how they do. That's true because a lot of people can say, "Hey, I want a good guy," or "Hey, I want a good woman," and then when they get it, they don't know what to do with it. Carolina's 34 and approaching middle age. She acts like a teenager. Yep, I agree, Pixman. Carolina, for example, wanted someone who could take care of her. He wanted someone who could help build her dreams. Holly wanted kids. Andrew said he was open to having another kid. See, and that's the thing. If you're 36, I think she was, open to having a child and knowing that you want to have one this year, next year, because of course it takes 9 months. So if you're getting started on it in the next week after your marriage or whatever, you need to find somebody who's on that same page. It's different when you're like 24 and he's 32, and you got a little bit of a window to say, okay, I might have one, maybe two kids. She's almost 40. You need to find somebody who's going to not just be, oh, I'm open. That's kind of in the gray area. You need somebody to say, oh, I absolutely want kids, which is what Matt said. Matt said, I want children. So when a man said, I want children, that's who they should have matched Kate up with. But the problem, I mean, not Kate, Holly. They should have matched Holly up with somebody like that, but they didn't. Um, sometimes people change based on physical attraction or some other things they found out about their partner. That's true, but they actually have to be so mentally connected that they are motivated to make that type of change. Um, I must be near death if I'm middle aged. Tassie. I bet you don't act like Carolina in real life. I don't think so. Tatsy seems to be sweet from what I see on all my lives. Um, Kim says, "Oh, in a few years older, I must be on life support." Listen, when we talk about that, we're not talking about age and number of years. We're talking about childbirthing years. So technically, we were saying this earlier, where OBGYNs are saying that usually around 35 women hit geriatric pregnancy. There are anecdotal experiences where few women do have children past that age, but they advise against it because it can be high risk, you know. So that's why we're not saying at 42 you're old. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. Or 40 or 36 you're old. No, it's just that when it comes to pregnancy, women, childbearing years, yeah, you usually somewhere between 27 and 35, you probably need to kind of figure out, do I want to have children? So, okay. Um, so yeah, honestly, Dion was getting fed up. I thought he was about to, walk out because I mean, they got into it at that dinner party. And of course they came second separately. Now my issue is kind of like with Matt, and I even think we were saying this with Chris on Married at First Sight US when it came to Alyssa. These people holding out for 1%, and even Dion talking about give me a glimmer of hope. And I'm like, how many times do you have to keep fighting for something that don't want to fight back with you to give you what you want? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. He's like telling the camera, please, I can only ask for one thing. Give me some hope because at the moment there's no hope. And I'm like, dude, if you're seeing that there's no hope, then what's the problem? Just go, Dion. Yeah, I feel like Carolina and Daniel attraction is surface. Honestly, if they were matched originally, I'm not sure it would work. They probably would just gravitate. Yeah, do they find each other sexually attractive? Absolutely. I mean, the man, I don't know if you guys, we talked about this last weekend on the live. This man, if you look at his IG, meaning Daniel, he's a muscle bodybuilder. So she's definitely, and she works out. So she's definitely attracted to each other physically. The thing is, she could be a bit of a diva. Now, the question is, can Daniel handle that part of her? Plus, she has a 16-year-old. So, I mean, is he also looking, to be open with a woman that has an older child? Now, in a couple of years, he'll be 18 years old, but, that's still something that, she has to talk about. Would Daniel be interested in that? Caroline and Kate like to chase men. Oh, like to chase the men and then turn off when the guy pursue them. You know what? There are a lot of women that don't like boring. And I'm not calling them boring, but there are these women. I personally like peace in my household. I'm okay with that. I don't need toxic. I don't need upheaval. None of that. But there are some women who find the chase or men that don't give them the time of the day or emotionally unavailable. They're not necessarily rude and disrespectful guys. They just don't give them the interest. And women go after those guys. But the guys who say, I'm going to give you my all and my undying love and I'll be here and everything you need, some of those same women find that, oh, it's too easy. Oh, I need a little edge. Oh, this is a little boring. I don't know. You doing too much. Now I'm wondering if Matt just turned himself off and just say, you know what, I'm not going to be bothered. I'm just going to live my life, get through this process. Then I'm wondering what would, just say when we were talking about Kate, what would she do? Now with um Carolina, I don't think, even if Dion turn off the switch of attention to her, I honestly think that wouldn't matter to Carolina because she is just not interested in this guy. I don't think she has a connection with him. I don't think she's attracted to him. She's just checked out when it comes to Dion. She wants a person like Daniel. Now I'm wondering if producers are going to bring Daniel back just for the purpose of whatever. I'm not sure. Okay. So Asher Ray says, I feel like Caroline and Daniel attraction surface. Right, okay. Highlander um says Carolina and Kate like to chase the men, turn off the guy, pursue him. Yep. Do they get money if they convince the partners to stay? I was wondering that too, because last week we had one person say stay, one person say leave, and they made them stay. I don't, so I'm assuming. Um Asher Ray is right again. Yep, Pixman. I hope Carolina gets stuck with broke Daniel and see Dion's IG of glorious, luxurious dates. Well, the question is she that type of girl that's motivated by money? Because she told him last week episode, I know you got a lot of money, but I'm not attracted to you people because of their money. I don't know if she's telling the truth about that. A lot of people did not believe her, but and then she made that statement to him saying that most of the women that probably dated him was not attracted to him. They only were attracted to how much money he had. Yikes. So she just need to be done. Well said, emotionally unavailable man. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Dion will have his DMs buzzing. Better believe. Oh, absolutely. He will have his DMs buzzing. Of course, they will bring him back. It brings drama. Yeah, I thought so. We'll have to see next week if they're going to bring back Daniel. I hope the producers do not allow wife swapping anymore. It failed last season. Knowing them, they'll, whether it fell or not, they probably do it just for the drama, and that sucks that they do that. It's always the way on Married at First Sight. If one stays say, then both have to say, which sucks to me. I mean, if I'm ready to go, can you just let me go? I don't want to be here. You giving me the option to say leave. Why do I have to stay because the person that I don't want to continue the experiment says stay? I don't get that. The swapping took place on the UK version. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, Dion I believe Dion can probably obviously find love. The question is, can he find love based on people actually want to build a connection? Maybe this isn't the show for him. Now I don't know if they have Joe Millionaire in the AU. They have it here. Joe Millionaire actually comes on tonight, so I got to check that out. They're getting down to the last few episodes, but for the ones that live in the US, you know what I'm talking about. It's where, a person who is a millionaire date 20 women, kind of like The Bachelor almost, but they don't know whether this guy is a millionaire or not. So he wants to build a connection based on emotional and physical and everything without people knowing how much money he has. And the guy that's on this season has $10 million. He owns a farm in Missouri, I think it is. So um he wants to build a connection with somebody that don't know how much money he has. Maybe that would be better for Daniel. He tried to do it here on the show, but Carolina ain't it. Carolina is not it. So honestly, of course, maybe not Daniel, Dion will go home. Maybe he'll say leave. She'll say leave, and then they'll ask her to stay. She'll get ready to leave, and then Daniel will show up. Who knows how production is going to do that? Because I don't see them just letting that go like that. You know what I mean? So, And then we lost Justin Daniels, so there wasn't too much to talk about there. She only stayed a day, not even that. They moved in and she moved right back out. She was like, I'm done. And honestly, they should have just let her go, period, because she had already been through the first husband who, we talked about last week, who had all these offensive things to say on social media. So the producers got rid of him and then brought Daniel on, and then that didn't work out. So she was pretty much over the show, period. Um, More mail. Hi, how are you? Welcome. The rule is both spouses must say leave to go. But if one spouse say stay, they must stay another week. Wow. Carolina would be bored with Daniel in a month. You think so? Probably so. I don't know what he does for a living. Do you guys remember what they say that Daniel did for a living? Because I'm trying to remember. I think he a blue collar worker, where carpentry or something. I know Al does that, but I'm not sure outside of the bodybuilding, which I think he just does on his own. What else does he do? Thanks, David. Yes, please, 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 pretty please hit that like button. Also, follow me on IG. My IG handle is there. And then if you want to support the channel, my cash tag is there. Daniel is a personal trainer. Okay, got you. Carolina rents purses out. He's a property. Oh, he's a property investor. Oh, wait a minute. So I know Dion is a property investor. Daniel is a personal trainer. Yeah, I'm wondering how long that would last. Would she get bored with him? This is my first time watching Australia's Lit. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting, to say the least. Too bad that they did not air it this year, because last year it was airing on Lifetime here in the United States, but this year it's not. So we had to, either you have to watch it on Nine Now or stream it. And if you're in the US, if you have a private VPN or something, you can watch it that way, or there are YouTube videos. So, yeah. Oh, he's a painter too. Okay. Yeah, that's the question. Would she be interested in that guy after they get past the sexual and physical attraction? Daniel better like breakfast. I think she did say that, because that was part of the conversation too. Um, but yeah, she was pissed off that Dion does not eat breakfast. Maybe he fasts. Some people fast. They do and I know with intermittent fasting, some people don't eat until like noon, you know, if they're on a certain schedule, like 16/8 or some of those other intermittent fastings. We don't know. They never brought it up, but he definitely doesn't work out. Okay. But who believes Daniel had the money to rent out an entire gym? Production clearly did this. Of course they did. Of course, Pixman. Yes, they did. So I'm over these two. Um, I would have thought with three couples that they brought in the last week or so, that we could at least got one or two good ones. All three of them did not do or materialize into anything. Jess and Daniel, done. Matt and Kate, that's not going anywhere. She friend zoned him. And of course, we got Dion and Carolina, and she's interested in one of the other husbands. Honestly, I just I'm over it. It's like it's a good season. I'm enjoying, and I also am enjoying talking to you guys too. But yeah, I was hoping at least the next three couples we get two out of that whole thing. Because we lost two couples. We lost Holly and Andrew, and we lost Selene and Anthony. So I was hoping to get two, maybe if one or two good couples out of the three that came in. Nope, not happening. Pixman, of course, this was not production. That was production. Okay. Terry says, I have a feeling Dan is moldable. Ooh, okay. Just want Carolina wants someone that goes to the gym and she can dominate otherwise. Interesting. And you think Dan is he's able to be molded? I think at some point, sometimes people resent that. After a while, it's good in the beginning, but then is how long is he going to be able to deal with her personality? Because again, she is a diva-ish. I won't say a diva. She got diva-ish attitude. So I'm not feeling that. I just wish that the production or even the experts did better with bringing in three new couples, because we went 0 for 3 so far with who they brought in, and it sucks because that's what this show is supposed to be about. Now, some other things happened this week. Outside of the dinner party, we did have this whole situation, and I'm like, Al, I'm giving you the side eye on this one. I can't believe Al did that. This man not only body slammed the table once, he body slammed the table twice. And what else happened this week is that they had these VIP movie passes to talk to the family. And the crazy thing is that up to this point, well, I would say up to, was it the last commitment ceremony? Because Sam and Al had made strides together. They actually consummated the marriage. She was teaching him things early on, like doing the laundry and cooking and things like that. And then commitment ceremony and the dinner party, I mean, and the VIP movie passes thing happened this week. And now Sam is having second thoughts. And it's so unfortunate because I know a lot of us, was rooting for the two of them. When Sam's dad asked, "Where do you see yourself?" Okay, well, first he asked him, "What are some of the things you do outside of work?" He said he played video games. And of course, her father was not happy with that answer. He also asked Al, I should say, asked Al, "Where you see yourself in 5 years?" He was struggling with that question. Struggling. And it's so unfortunate that that was the case, because it took, even though they have progressed forward, it took Sam 10 steps backwards, because, of course, she values her parents' opinion on this guy. And because he really didn't have a clear vision or plan on what his life looked like by the time he's 20, no, by the time he's 30, that was very unsettling to her parents. And then that also made her unsettled. So they did have that picnic. Al is great entertainment. Yeah, but at some point, do you kind of, because I mean, you're married now. And it's one thing if you want to have a great time with the fellas, but your wife is sitting there watching you body slam the table. You already, did a break dance and a split at the wedding. You did two shoeies, and now you're doing two body slams. I wasn't rooting for them. Nah, he's a kid. Oh, okay, David. I love when the guys were coaching him on what he shouldn't. Yes. Oh, yeah. When he sat down with Brent, and I think it was Jack and one of the other guys, and he said, "Well, this is what," and they was like, "No, dude." Oh, Mitch was in there too. Um, they was like, "No, dude, you shouldn't have did that one." Oh no. Yeah, that was funny. They was like, "No, you told them you play video games and you don't know what you're going to do in 5 years." But here's the interesting thing at that picnic that the two of them had together. At that picnic, this is where Sam lost me, because it's one thing to be unsure, But she kept telling him she needs more. And he was like, okay, well, tell me what you need. I don't know. So, how are you going to expect something out of someone that you don't know what to tell them to do? You don't even know what you want. If somebody say, "Hey, I'm hungry. I need to eat." Somebody say, "Okay, what do you want to eat?" I really don't know what I want to eat. How does that help? The person is not going to know where to go get the food or what to cook or whatever. If she wants more, she needed to take the time to sit and think and say, "Okay, what do I need moving forward?" Then come to him with a clear answer, because Al is more than happy to listen, to receive it, and to more than likely, show the effort. But she kept saying, "I don't know. I don't know what more is." That doesn't help the situation. Um, Hi, Aaron. Asheray said Al's a sweetheart, but he's not getting it. Even at the picnic, he wasn't getting anything said what Sam was saying. The thing is, Sam really didn't have much to say. She was telling him, of course, what she needs to see more out of him. But when he asked her, "What do you need to see?" she couldn't tell him. I don't know. She kept saying, "I don't know what is more." Even she said it to the cameras, because she was like, "I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just don't know what it is, but I just need more." That's a general term. If you want him to do something different, he needs to know what that is. What do you want from him? What do you want from me? Okay, I want A, B, C, D. Okay, cool. Now I know. But if you can't formalize to that person what it is that you want, how are they supposed to get you what you want? Make sense? Okay. Um I hope Al and Sam don't leave before end of the season. He's fun. Aw, yeah, he is a fun, open guy. I like the fact that he put in work. She didn't know how to vocalize it, because she is also considerate of his ego. I mean, saying "I need you to be a man" is not so easy. Okay, but even with that term, "I need you to man up" or "I need you to be a man," give me details. Do you need me to be more mature? Do you need me to read the room when we're in a group? I mean, in some things, at some point, he got to learn on his own. Nobody can spoon feed him everything. But generalized terms doesn't help either. I mean, I could tell my significant other, "I need you to be there for me." What does that mean? Do you need me support? Do you need me to, be a shoulder to cry on? Whatever the situation is, because that communication has to be effective, or else there's gray areas. You can't read people's minds, those types of things. I don't think so. She'll leave him after the show. Oh, okay. Um, he's too young. There's no chemistry. Yeah, I mean, she's 27 at the time, because they filmed this last year, and he's 25. Some people say he still have a frat boy mentality. So, I he has to at some point kind of start to transition, because if you want to be married to somebody, that's a whole different lifestyle versus being that single party boy that's out there, you know, acting, crazy, silly, that type of thing. When the task came about to place partners' pictures and preference, he wasn't first or second. I think his wife expected him to know certain ways of being a man. It's up to her to mother him. Well, his mom did everything for him up to that, even up to the wedding day, which technically is a disservice, because if mom is washing clothes all the way up to 25, dressing him, telling him what to wear, he really doesn't have to lift a finger to learn how to do life skills. That's a detriment. And now here's a wife that has to deal with the fact that he didn't pick up life skills along the way, from what we see, right? There's no there's nothing in common. More chemistry with a store assistant. Are you talking about with Al and Sam Cardigans? Hey, Cindy. That was you that left them in. So welcome to the chat. But I just like to see the progression that he made. It's just that everything kind of unraveled this week after her parents kind of gave her a reality check, and then this whole body slamming thing didn't help either. Oh yeah, I noticed that too. Did you guys know that he it looked like he painted his fingernails? I like tracking his nail polish changes. Yeah, he does. I noticed that too, Terry. Imagine Al and Katina in a relationship. I don't know if that would work. Katina's 30 years old. So, I mean, him being 25, yeah, she was a party girl in college and stuff like that, but I don't know about at 30. He's a mama's boy, not in a bad way, but I think his development was stunted. Absolutely, Tassie. His mom did a disservice by not showing him life skills. She painted his nails for him. And, oh, okay. I was wondering because when he moved his hands and stuff, I'm like, he got nail polish on. I must have missed that one, David. See, that's why you got to keep us on our toes over here, because I missed that one. But we'll have to see what happens with Sam at this point, because she's losing. It seems like she's kind of distancing herself, and it's definitely scaring him, because he's like, dang, I'm not in a good place right now. Because he did a lot of work. He did the work. He's a character. I don't think he's ready for marriage. Relationship, yes, but marriage, no. Okay. Last time I checked, there's no shortage of men. Stop kidding yourself. This isn't even a friend, never mind a husband. Yeah, okay. But I honestly, unless he really make a whole turnaround being in the husband capacity, she's gonna always feel like she's being mom to him. I thought his nails were bruised, no nail polish. No, that was actually nail polish. For an Asian immigrant, I was really surprised at how his mom babied him. It's so unusual, except his dad is some millionaire. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay. Okie dokie. Um, Now let's talk about this other couple that had some stuff going on this week. And that is, where are they? Oh, right here. We're going to talk about this other couple because there's mixed reviews when it comes to these two. And um Ella and Mitch, they really, because here's the thing, they were making plans for life outside of this experiment until the commitment ceremony. And then when she had mentioned that she was planning on, and we kind of talked about this, so I'm not going to delve deep because we talked about that on the commencement ceremony live on Sunday. But um they had made plans. And one of the biggest plans is her moving to the Gold Coast. Some of the women, like Dominica and Tamara, was not happy about that. And it started to cause issues. John Aiken brought up the whole thing about her not being good enough. And one of the things that I had said was the fact that there's some accountability on both of them, because number one, the way he spoke to her last week was uncalled for, using expletives, and even in the VIP um movie pass movie pass situation with his parents and her parents or whatever, that definitely came out too. um but the other thing is, if Ella felt for this period of time, and even though she admitted it probably was her own insecurity, that she felt this way, that her not being good enough, blah blah blah, you need to communicate that to your spouse privately. Let's have a conversation. Sometimes with you telling me about your past and the people you dealt with, sometimes that make me feel some kind of way. so that they can deal with it. Have a conversation about it. Let her, and then therefore that would allow him the opportunity to say, no, I always felt you was good enough. But he was blindsided. Also, at the same time, he shouldn't have said what he said to her at that dinner party. And it caused a ripple effect amongst the other couples, which now they, instead of breaking these two apart, it made them more, I guess, stronger together, because even in this picture, they are doing what is called a united front. And Ella this week put both Dominica and Tamara on notice to let them know that I know you feel some kind of way about me and my husband's plans, but I'm going to need you not to come for him when we go to this dinner party. So I'm putting you on notice. Don't go there. Positive vibes only. Well, I guess Dominica was like, no, he needs to be called out. Now, I was shocked on how she did it, because I thought she was really going to come for him. But as she stated, she was like, she had to hold the beast in, because at the same time, she wanted to respect Ella's boundaries on what she said. And I don't want her to be mad at me. And then I know if Mitch leaves, she's going to follow him. And I want them to stay in the experiment. So she did come to him in a softer manner, I guess, by saying, hey, I know everything happened, but if you leave, she's gonna want to leave, and I know Ella want to stay in the experiment, and blah blah blah. So she didn't come for him like I thought she would. What do you guys think about that? Okay, Mitch is great. She is a draining lady, was extremely desperate. A lady should remain coy. She blew her chances. Okay. You guys in there, Kim and David, are talking about nail polish. He wants a blonde surfer type. I don't know. These two are, I mean, do I think these two could possibly work? Yeah. He needs to actually bring it down a notch, though. Now, I mean, of course, he can still be the husband in a relationship, but some of of how the ways he talked to her, like he did at the dinner party, he needs to change that. And she needs to communicate what she's feeling. Don't hold back. And she don't have to be rude in his face and loud like Dominica. She can have a conversation with him to say, okay, this is what I'm feeling. What can we do? Can we do this? I feel I don't like, or, how you talk to me, I did not like. You can actually have a conversation with someone without being loud and obnoxious. I don't think Mitch is that great. I was pleased with Domenico's approach. Me too. Because honestly, whatever their plans are outside of this experience, whether we like it or not, whether the couples like it or not, it's their choice and their business. I mean, here's the thing. After a year or two and season 10, 11 comes along, they're going to be in the distant past. These couples that they were working with on the show, they're going to be in their own lives, whether they're still with their husbands or not. So if Mitch and Ella is going to build a relationship and they're making plans outside of the experiment, and she's okay with moving, because one of the things that we brought up on the last live that we did, he's a financial planner. So does he has his own business in the Gold Coast? Did he start a new job? And I know that she is a social media influencer, so she felt that she's flexible enough to move. Somebody was going to have to move, but the women were saying, well, Mitch, why can't you move where she is? Who's to say it's not a possibility? And if Ella is okay with that, that's what husbands and wives do. After you get married, you discuss, where are we moving? Are you moving to my town? Are you moving to my town? Or are we moving in your house? Are we moving in my house? Or are we going to just buy a whole new house separately together? That's for them to figure out. It's not for Dominica and Tamara to try to dictate how they move in their marriage. Dominica needs to stay focused on what she got going on with Jack. And Tamara and Brent, they got enough ups and downs going on in their own relationship to be worried about what Mitch and Ella is doing outside of that. Now, like I said, I don't like how he spoke to her. I don't like how Ella been holding back, not communicating, but they can work on that. But that's their work to do. So, okay. She needs to find a voice. Yep, that's what I just said. Dominica got her sense in that conversation. He needs to be more respectful. Absolutely. Can't wait for the next episode because Dom is finally getting called out. Yeah, she getting called out by Olivia. I don't like Dom or Kate. Okay. Yep. I have a spoiler after the show, but I want David, send that to me, please. I would like to know. Email me at romancereviewtv@gmail or hit up my IG DMs. Hey, Mary. Mary, quite contrary. How are you? Um, so that's my take on them. He needs to fix his tone and how he talks to his wife, and she needs to communicate more. Can that be worked on? Absolutely. Is it anybody else in that room? I mean, the experts, it's their job to kind of weigh in on things. Okay, fine. The other couples, it's not your business. I mean, you could suggest, say whatever, but to create angst. Because here's the thing, somebody in my comment section says it seemed like it's possible that Tamara or Demonica could be jealous. And at first, I did not. I was like, maybe, maybe not. But Tamara said something interesting. She said they're acting like their relationship is just so perfect. And I'm like, oh, okay. That could make a little bit of sense. Because if Tamara is having all these issues with Brent up and down, up and down, up and down, Dominica and Jack seem to be happy, even though she's a little bit more of the energy in the relationship. But who's to say Tamara isn't feeling some kind of way because Mitch and Ella are making plans, and it doesn't seem that they are having too many problems. So, hi Cassie, how's your fat cat tonight? Oh, that's funny. Okay. Yeah, I see his videos. Yeah, so David, when you get a chance, send that to RTV. I can't wait for you to read my DM. Okay, I can't wait to read it either, Kim. I can't wait. I got a problem with Olivia and Jackson thinking they're all that now. That's what I was saying last weekend. One of the things that I was saying last weekend was the fact that um just because everything is going great for them, now they feel that they're the experts. And I'm like, no, you have to actually go through some things first. You're going through the process just like these other couples. And for you to try to be like, oh, wow, we're doing it perfectly. Our relationship is wonderful. Let me tell you about yourself. I'm going to say the same thing about them as I said about Tamara and Demonica. Stay in your own relationship. Calling each other out is just, and who knows, production could be pushing the issue. That could be something too. But I mean, but here's the thing. Even though I know we're not cool with Olivia calling Demonica out, did you see her facial response? So Demonica is okay with calling other people out, but when somebody call her out, she got a problem with it. So you can dish it, but you can't take it. No, if you're going to be open enough to come after somebody else and call somebody else out, when it's your turn, are you open to take that same criticism? Now, I'm not saying it's okay for Olivia to do it, but I also saw the previews with Demonica's facial reaction, how pissed off she was with Olivia calling her out, saying that you need to. Now, if Olivia is calling her out saying you need to stay out of other couples' businesses, I'm here for that. Now, if she's all up in her relationship saying, "What are you doing to Jack?" and that's not cool, and you shouldn't do this, yeah, then I'll be like, Olivia, kind of stay in your lane. Worry about Jackson. But if she's saying, look, it's not cool to call other people in their relationships out, then I might be here for that one. Exactly, Rebecca. Olivia's the one who was calling out Dom for Buddy and other couples. I'm here for that one then. I'm definitely here for that. I think it's the producers pushing Olivia to be active so they won't look so boring. Yeah, I mean, they have pretty much been riding on easy street, Highlander. You're absolutely correct. They have been pretty much on easy street a lot. We were talking about this as a group on our last live, how when life happens and conflict happens, how are they going to handle it? Because it's been pretty easy peasy for them. Um, Even when her husband called her out, she couldn't take it. Yeah, that's true. Dominica is not a friend I would like. She butts. Oh, she's not a friend I would like. She butts into everyone's issue. That's why Mitch didn't like her. Yeah, and here's the other thing. Going back to Mitch and Ella, Mitch called the show toxic. He called the other couples idiots. He was using all types of terms. He is not feeling it. And the one thing that you don't do on reality TV is kind of be disrespectful to the producers, because that's one way to for them to have you make you look like a real villain. And they tried. When he started calling everybody idiots and toxic, and this situation is toxic, and I'm trying to build a relationship. And he even said, and this is why I know he really cares about Ella, unless David sends me a spoiler that is going to be totally opposite, but we'll see. He said the best thing that happened out of this entire experiment was finding Ella. That's it. He said that at the end of it was yesterday for us, yesterday's episode, that the best thing out of this whole experience is finding Ella. So, I mean, even at that point, I don't know what has happened since last fall when they filmed it, but even at that point, that's his girl. And you can tell that these two are having a united front with each other. Even after everything people said, the experts, everything else, they are guarded. She's protecting her dude at all costs. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I got this. I'm ready if they come for me. And I'm glad the Monica kind of really had a conversation with him versus this whole calling you out being loud. Okay. So she's handling him with kids glove, which is quite sad. Yep. Olivia called out Holly too. Yes, she did. She sure did. Olivia and Jackson need to tone it down, though not feeling that they're perfect. The experts love Dominica. Of course they do. They see Dominica coming. And that's why after Ella left the room, when she put both her and Tamara on notice, she had a whole separate conversation in that apartment and with the cameras talking about, oh, absolutely, he needed to be called out. So, of course, production was loving that. And they even said to her, are you going to call him out? Oh, he absolutely going to be called out. Anyone else see the pics online of Daniel and Carolina at the airport with Leslie? Look like they're a couple. Rebecca, you trying to spoil it for us. Now, I don't mind spoilers, but I know some of my viewers don't like spoilers. So, no, I haven't seen that picture. But, guys, if you guys have any spoilers, you come across any articles, send them to me. Send them. You can DM me on Instagram, or you can also email me. My email address is romancereviewtv@gmail.com. COM. That's okay. You kind of gave us a little bit with, a little Rebecca, a little bit of a spoiler. But so, David, did you get that, or do I need to repeat it? Let me know. Let me know. But Yeah, I'm interested to know what happened with these two after, everything. Mitch seems to me that he sincerely likes Ella, but he don't like the process. He does seem to fly off the handle. Yeah, I mean, they had an instant connection. Instant connection at the beginning, you know? And I think, because remember, Mitch was the one that was like, you know what? I don't believe this work. I don't believe these experts. I don't think they are going to match me. I'm just going to try to prove you wrong. He got on the show. They matched him with Ella, and he's been happy ever since. They had an instant connection. And, I mean, the sexual connection was there. They had an actual emotional connection. We didn't get to see a lot of it, but when it came to some of the challenges, he found it to be stupid. Oh, why we got to do all this? We can do our own thing. Why we got to do these stupid challenges? And she wanted to participate because it's part of the experiment, but he was like, we got to kiss on camera for 5 minutes. I mean, come on. We can do our own thing without the cameras being here. So, um, I saw that, Rebecca, and I saw a couple other spoilers. Mary, you guys got a ton of spoilers. Y'all got to send me the stuff. Send it to me. I wants to know. That's right. Mitch was a skeptic. Yeah, he was a skeptic. When Ella came down that aisle, he was like, "Oh man." He was more than pleasantly surprised when, because Ella, she was a beautiful bride. It wasn't this over the top grandiose dress, but the dress had this elegant and class, and then she had these rhinestone headdress that come across her forehead. She was a very beautiful bride. The whole ceremony itself, even though there was no family or friends there, it was very intimate. It was so pretty. That was probably one of my most favorite weddings, I would say. Originally I thought Selin and Anthony's wedding was gorgeous, and it was until everything went south. But I would say Ella and Mitch was one of my favorite weddings. I think Mitch finally gave in and joined the boy band he obviously belongs in. What are you talking about, Tassie? What are you talking about? Yeah, so I'm curious to find out what happened with these two because, like I said, they were ready. You can tell by they put their game face on, and even when Tamara and Dominica came down there, did you see that look that Ella gave to both of them? Like, I told you, didn't I tell you? Don't go there. I already done told you. Her face was priceless. And of course, Mitch was ready, and but Dominica's, she had a conversation. She didn't go there with him. As she said, I could have released the beast, but she didn't. So yep, yep, yep. We really didn't have we did have just a few other things with Dominica and Jack. She did something sweet because they had a rough week. Because remember, Dominica running her mouth, talking in front of I think that was at Matt and Kate's wedding, and she was talking about him and the toilet seats and everything else, and he was so embarrassed, so embarrassed. And then she was like, "Oh, is that too much?" Of course, you knew it was too much, And then she backpedaled and saying, "Oh, it's not that bad. Don't be so sensitive." Da 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 da. And of course, with Jack, that didn't sit too well with him. So this week, she decided to bring her dog and, of course, his dog that was at the wedding, and he looked like he was so happy about that. I thought that was a cute moment. I actually had a little bit of a tear because I thought that was really sweet, and he was so happy. Dominica actually started crying herself when both of the dogs were playing and happy and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. But everything else, I'm like, Dominica, you need to slow your roll. And Did you see, I guess right before the dinner party or the cocktail party, did you see Dominica try to get him to put on her bikini or something? I was like, and he was willing. It seemed like he might have been willing to do it too. I was like, okay, that's the dynamics of your relationship, and y'all okay with that? Who am I to judge? Um, let's see. He's a boy band look, frosted hair, Justin Timberlake, 1998. Okay, gotcha. Now I see where you're coming from. I was watching Wilco's live today, and Dominica was in that chat too. Really? Wow. Okay. A tear. Oh, you said. Listen, I'm telling you, romantic moments. When if you watch Love Is Blind and you saw the finale with Jared and Ayana's wedding, oh my God. You're talking about beautiful. Their vows, his father officiating. Oh my goodness. So I hope they don't disappoint me tomorrow on the reunion. I'm looking forward to that first thing in the morning. But anywho, yeah, I love love. I love romance. I love creating it in my own life. So yes, I'm a softie when it comes to that, David. Yes, the dog surprise was the cutest. Yes, her thong. He said he would cross dress another day. Yeah. She was like, oh, you gotta put on my thong. He was like, okay, maybe we can do it. So I'm like, listen, that's y'all relationship. I ain't saying nothing. Dom didn't say much. She enjoys his channel and isn't offended by what he says about her. Oh, okay. I hate that our young. Are we gonna go down this road, Kim? That's a whole nother conversation. If you want to see what I had to say about that whole second option thing, check out my last review of week 3 of Love Is Blind. Um, I don't agree with the whole thing with choices by numbers. I believe in the right choice. So that's how I look at it. It's the right choice. But yeah, for these two, it wasn't much this week. Like I say, it was just pretty cute on how everything went with the dogs. They did have their VIP movie thing, but it went well. No biggie there. Now I will say who was in a state of shock at their VIP movie pass uh visit was Tamara and Brent. And Tamara was looking like a deer in headlights because the parents saw a lot of the things that she would say to him. And Brent, for a minute, he was sitting back like, yeah, you need to hear everything they got to say. But then at some point he did stand up for her and say, she's a good person, she's really nice, she's supportive, blah blah blah. But for a minute he let her take the heat on that one. He let her take the heat on that one. I mean, he let her, yeah, and so yeah, because she had a lot of horrible things to say. All the name calling she did with Brent, she deserved what those parents told her. You don't talk like that to your husband. I know a lot of times, these days it's a lot easier for women to talk that way. And then when a man does it, he's considered abusive or emotionally abusive. Guess what? It goes, on my channel, I cut down the middle. It goes both ways. Nobody should be doing it to nobody. If you're going to be respectful, if you expect it, you got to give respect back. I mean, it is what it is. But they called her out on that. Now, folks need to be called out. Your parents and anybody who related to you, I get it. So yes, Terry says absolutely the right choice win. Yeah, and that's what it came down to. I mean, that's one thing about Love Is Blind. You're gonna have multiple connections. I mean, actually, I don't know if you guys got to see the video that I did today. Natalie actually had two proposals. She turned down the first one and she accepted Shane's proposal. So she had options too. Was Shane second choice? I don't know. But she had two proposals. There were people that had multiple interests. It comes down to who's the right choice for you. And in this case, it seems from what we saw at the wedding that Ayana was the right choice. So, but yeah, I don't know about Brenton tomorrow. Do I think they'll last? I don't get that energy from them. I just think they have their ups and downs, ups and downs. This week was a good week. Last week was a bad week. The week before that was a good week. The week before that was a bad week. So, I mean, I really don't know about these two. I don't know about these two. I don't see them going too far. Who knows? They could shock me, prove me wrong. Good. If you can prove me wrong and you find love, I'm here for it. But Jared and Ayana are cute together. They are absolutely adorable. And I'm not gonna, I've been sent little hints and things that they might still be together, but I guess I won't get the true answer until the reunion. Well, technically, some of this stuff happened after the reunion, because I think the reunion was filmed. I don't know. I don't know how recent it was, but there's some people been dropping little hints that they, are still together, but we'll have to see. All these people blame the fact they were hurt for their bad behavior. Anyone here not been hurt and don't act like them, raise your hand. Here's the thing. If you got trauma from previous relationships, situationships, family relationships, go get some help with that. Because, and listen, a lot of times people think that, oh, going to see a mental health professional, oh, that's a bad thing. Why do I need that? Mental health is a part of your physical health. If you go to the doctor to get a physical, women go and get well women checkups, men go get well men checkups. Guess what? Your brain and stuff need healing as well. So if you have traumas, get that stuff healed. Go talk to somebody about it, get through it, process it before you start getting involved with other people. Because now you're bringing all of those traumas, all of that pain into your next relationship. Probably like what Kate is doing right now, right? And so, as they say, hurt people hurt people. That's what we need not to do. So, I mean, if you know, you're absolutely, Terry, it is growth. It is healthy growth. And anyway, your mind controls the body. Everything in your brain controls how you move, what digest, you know, how your nervous system work, your heart, your lungs, all of those other systems depend on your nervous system. So your nervous system is also part of your mental health. You got to take care of that. And a lot of these people that come on these shows or get involved in relationships, they haven't dealt with that stuff. And you keep bringing this in and then you're affecting other people. So absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yes, Shamunda. Welcome, girl. I know it's a weekday, so I don't know. Maybe you were at work or something. We did talk about Dion and Carolina. Yes, we did. We did. We did. But with Brenton tomorrow, yeah, I would be surprised. Like I say, if all of these couples did a turnaround and they were actually genuinely in love and they're happy, I'm here for it. Hence my channel, right? But yeah, with these two, I just don't see it. I really don't. I don't. So I'm trying to think who do we didn't have a lot else this week. I might as well just move on to Married at First Sight. USA. Y'all ready for that? I know y'all got a lot to say. So let's go ahead. Unless you guys got something that basically Shamunda, we talked about with Dion and Carolina about the superficial connection with Daniel, how, Dion is looking for any, type of something from her and she's just not giving it. And the fact that she tried to make him feel bad for putting her first in the photo challenge, she was actually projecting her bad behavior onto him, saying that he was a liar and he's not being honest. Pretty much a big passive aggressive gaslight. And what else we said about that whole situation, because he cooked dinner for her, he got those flowers from their wedding venue, he wrote that heartfelt letter, and it went nowhere. And the fact that she was sneaking out seeing Daniel, because Daniel rented out the whole workout center, and she has this connection, and that whole blow up at the party, and yeah. So I'm hoping I gave you the cliff notes on that. At least we know she's not a gold digger. Yeah, I mean, that's what because she definitely don't want him for his money, and it doesn't seem like she don't like him. Period. She's not interested. But some of the other people in the chat had said that she probably would only deal with Daniel for about a month, and she'll probably be done with him. And the question is, with her diva-ish type of attitude, I'm wondering how long would that last with Daniel too. So yeah, I I don't I don't know why he's even looking for any iota of anything when it comes to Carolina. Okay, so let's move on to Married at First Sight. Our episode aired yesterday. It aired yesterday here. Stephen Noy. Remember they had a big blow up about Noodlegate last week because she decided to get pissed off and mad because the noodles were overcooked. He brought it to her attention. She decided to leave, take the dog, and disappear for a day, and then post some crap on social media, which is extremely immature. And when she slid back in the house the next day, Steve respectfully called her out on her behavior. Yes, he did. Yesterday, she still seemed a little cold to me, even though, they did do um some activities together and, stuff like that. But what do you think about Steven? No, I actually think that he is really truly into her, because he did finally tell her yesterday that he loves her. Because remember, she wanted him to say I love you on, what was it, day 3 of the honeymoon, and he was like, it's only been 3 days and you want me to say I love you. So now they're coming up on week 3, I think, week 2, 3, something like that. And so now he can actually say that he loves her. um what do you guys think about these two? What do you think? Because I like these two. I honestly think they're going to stay together. Honestly. But the thing is, and I'm trying to bring up my notes. So if you hear me kind of moving a little slow over here, that's what I'm doing. I got to pull up my notes because I like to know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, all right, there we go. So she decided to do a little scavenger hunt for them. They discussed their past relationships, what loves mean to them. Um, Steve again said that, he falls in love, and he, of course, told her that he loves her. Uh, let's see what else we got. Oh, so Steve also had a sidebar conversation with the men, and of course, he talked about their argument, and he also told the men that they should show when they're feeling vulnerable. He said Noy didn't understand why he was upset until she saw how hurt he was. Now that I don't understand, because your behavior, you walked out, you picked up, you left. Why wouldn't you not know that he was hurt by that? That part I don't understand. She didn't feel that way. Um, she decided, that she wasn't going to ever hurt him again. Okay, fine. But pretty much these two, I think they're going to be fine. I really think they're going to be fine. She had a moment, but she got to learn from that. You just can't do stuff like that. And then go to social media and not go to your husband. That is so high school. That is so high school. David says, I like them as a couple and think they can make it if she's willing to continue to put in the effort she put in with the park game. Yeah, she did. That little scavenger hunt was really nice. And it definitely turned it around for him because I know in the back of his mind, he got to be like, is this what she does all the time? I mean, seriously. Does she get mad, leave, and then go and talk trash to the world behind my back? No man is going to want to deal with that. Because a lot of time people, mostly a lot of times women, but men too, when they have issues with their significant other, they go straight to the social media. There's many people on Instagram having lives and posts about problems with their significant other when they should be having that conversation with their significant other. So that's the only thing. She need not to do that again. That's not what you do in a marriage. If you had an issue with what he said about those noodles, talk to him about it. Don't just pout, get in your feelings and leave. That's not what you do as in a marriage. Sorry, it ain't gonna work with me. So I know I'm a definite person when it comes to communication. I need you to talk to me. We ain't got to scream, yell, be disrespectful. Just talk to me. Let's figure this out. What's on your mind? Let me know why you feel the way you do. I'm going to let you know why I feel the way I do. It is what it is. And a lot of people, either they don't want to, face the situation and they do what she did, or people get loud and disrespectful. And that's not cool either. He does need to get a job though. Romance goes out quickly without finance. Oh, he's fine. Over the past week or two, it's been coming out about his finances. It's been coming out about some of the things that he's done, and so job. Is he working? Probably. A 9 to 5? Probably not. I mean, that's the difference with self-employment. Because he, on the after party last week, he considered himself self-employed. Exactly what I thought. She was extremely immature to post over noodles. Yeah, you don't do that. Tassie says, I think she learned a lesson. He handled it well. I hope she did, Tassie. I think she did too, and I'm hoping that some of her family members maybe said, don't do that. Go talk to your husband. Go back home, talk to your husband, especially when she probably told him that she got mad over noodles. They probably gave her the side eye so fast. They probably thought, oh, what did he do? Did he cheat? Did he do something disrespectful? No. He told me about the noodles. What? What? Noodles? That's it. Girl, go home and talk to your husband about them noodles. So, yeah, but Tassie, yeah, I'm hoping that she learned the lesson as well, and she won't do that again. All right. Um, let's talk about, okay, where are they? Here they are. We're going to talk about Mike and Jasmina. Now, a lot of people are having issues with Jasmina this week. They had a date at the park, and the conversation came up about their communication issues. Now, kind of like what um, Al did with Samantha at the park, asking when she said, I need more, he said, well, what is it? And of course, Samantha said, I don't know. I just need more. Well, in this case, Michael asked Jasmina how he can communicate better. Instead of just breaking it down in detail, when you talk to me, just kind of, she basically condescendingly says that he just needs to talk her in a normal way, and that's just pretty much basic knowledge. And I'm like, oh, that's not it, Jasmina. That's not it. So now he's frustrated and says that what is basic for one person isn't always as normal for the other. Absolutely. You Some people can handle certain tones, direct speech, and others can't. So you can't assume that it's universal to everybody, which is what he was saying. Um, but Jazz is like, you don't have to raise your voice to speak to someone in a different way, a disrespectful way, but she's the one that's doing that in this moment. That's the interesting thing, because she doesn't want to be condescendingly talked to in a certain tone, but that's the same delivery that she gives him. Yeah, she places the blame on him, but obviously she also need to work on that as well. It's one thing you talking to him a certain way, but you don't want him to talk to you in that same manner. Yeah. I didn't like her tone with him. Yeah, I mean, it's like telling somebody to calm down, but you're loud yourself. It's like, how you gonna tell me to calm down when you're not calm either? But so they do have a conversation with each other. They open up about their past relationship, and they talk about falling in love. So he says that in order for him to fall in love, he has to be comfortable and vulnerable. And she actually said, because I guess there was this interview that she had after the fact, like a post interview. Jasmina is now questioning why he hasn't taken the steps to be vulnerable with her. Um, how can somebody be vulnerable with you when you come across condescending? Don't know, the person don't know how to. He already told you he don't know how to talk to you, and now you expecting him to be vulnerable with you. How is he supposed to do that when you're not telling him how you want to receive, how you want him to express himself to you? That makes no sense. David says it's a communication issue. A lot of people have that problem. Conflict resolution is a big issue couples need to learn to deal with. Absolutely. That's why we were saying we were wondering what was going to happen with Jackson and Olivia when they have that issue, when something arises. I'm confused by many couples this week. Jasmina and Michael is one of them. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, it's just, you can't say, I need you to talk to me. And when the person talks to you, you really don't give them a safe space to do it. I need you to be vulnerable with me. How can you be vulnerable with the person if you don't give them a safe space to be vulnerable with you? It's just that simple. And I mean, she says you haven't taken the steps to do to be vulnerable and to do what he said, to fall in love and be comfortable. How can he be comfortable if you don't allow him the space to do that with you? I mean, really. So let's see. Okay. So Jasmina, there's an activity she planned. She did this whole thing where they was going to do a workout together. She has zero experience with working out. But she kind of do something that kind of, I guess, in the house resembles it. um they had their little cool down after the workout, and so that at that point she asked him to kind of open up more about his past. And I'm glad she did that, because here's the thing: if you want him to feel vulnerable, open up that door and that safe space. And she did that in that moment. Like I say, I'm going to call it, but I'm also going to give credit where credit is due. So when he started to talk about his past, and I think he lost a lot of family members, you can tell. And especially, when he's recalling the death of his brother, she even got emotional, thinking about all the stuff that he went through. And I mean, Jasmina has to realize, to understand, for a person to open up, they have to feel safe to do so. And she can be intense. One thing, I am a little bit into the zodiacs, because if you're on my Instagram, I posted the zodiacs of the US couples. Jasmina is a Scorpio. Scorpio people are very intense. And, if they can get ticked off really quickly, I hope there's no Scorpios in my chat. No offense. But they are very intense people, and she's a very intense personality. She comes across, and I'm not saying it's the case with Scorpio people, but she definitely comes across as cold at times. And what she probably needs to do is just let her guard down. I mean, she didn't even give him a hug while he was crying. That's the interesting thing. So she will leave him sadly. He's not what she wants. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think they would have been a great match. Zodiologically, they are. He's a Pisces. She's a Scorpio. Both are water signs, but um yeah, I don't think, I don't know if it's an attraction issue with her. Is she attracted to this guy? You know, I know she is either the same height or maybe an inch or two taller than him. He definitely works out and stuff like that, but I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. It says I was crying and listened to the story of his brother's death. Yeah, it was really sad. And he lost his mom too. Because remember, he lost the mom to breast cancer. Terry, I'll let you guess. I'll let you guess. And then I'll let you know if you're right. I will let you know. But if you guys are into it, drop what your sign is. I'm curious. David, Tassie, Terry, Kim, what sign are you guys? Um okay, so yeah, she got to give him a safe space to be able to talk to her, because other than that, they're going to have problems, and like you say, maybe it's an attraction issue with her and him not being the guy that she's really truly interested in, you know. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with these two. Okay, Dave, you a Sag. My daughter is a Sag. A Virgo, Terry. Okay. By the way, Terry, Noy is a Virgo. Kim, you a Libra. Interesting. So both Alyssa and Lindsey are both Libras. Just to let you know. Mary is a Cancer, and Katina is also a Cancer, and Paige from season 12 is a Cancer. Oh, by the way, Chris from season 12 is a Libra too. By the way. Me myself, I am a Taurus. My birthday is coming up the end of next month. I'm at the end of next month. Yes, Kim, you have Alyssa as a zodiac partner. You have Lindsey as a zodiac partner. You have Chris Williams as a zodiac partner. There were a couple Libras on, was the last season? Let me think. Yeah, Kim, listen though. My son is a Libra. He's a really sweet guy. My son is 21. So not all Libras, not all. So I get it. My son is a Libra. I'm Virgo through and through. I'm surprised you aren't because you are romantic. Well, listen, Taurus people are ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus is the planet of love and romance. Fun fact. So, yeah, and Virgo and Taurus people are earth signs, by the way. So, yep. Thank God none of these crazy people are Sagittarius. Yeah, but Virginia from season 12 was a Sag. Virginia, and who else was a Sag? Somebody else was a Sag. Hey, RTV, how are we celebrating the birthday? Come on, we're going to. Well, listen, my significant other is a Pisces, and his birthday is actually next weekend. So we've been trying to figure out, being that His is this month, mine is next month. We're trying to figure out how we can coordinate the two or just have two separate celebrations. So we're trying to figure that out. You just had to go there. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. That's all. All right. Let's move on to this couple, Mark the Shark and Miss Lindsey. So, at the beginning of yesterday's episode, you can cut the tension between these two with a knife. They had an awkward dinner, and they did have a fight beforehand. So they finally addressed this whole fight. Um, and he tells her that she lacks self-awareness. And what do you guys think about that? Because here's the thing, how all this started is how she confronted Katina at the bowling party last week about Katina's, I guess, reaction to that whole comment about you need to have conflict first before being intimate or something like that. And Katina kind of rolled her eyes or something. And Lindsey was like, why you rolling your eyes? And she was like, not to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Mark said, why did you start up with them? You know that they have issues with you. You have a history with them. And I already mentioned in my reviews and probably on my lives what the issue was, which is her trying to start a fight with her husband at the airport, her antagonizing Olajuwon and Katina on the plane, and the whole thing that happened on the bus. So there's history there. There's bad blood there. And Mark is like, why do you have to poke the bear? And instead of just saying, you know, maybe I should just leave the situation alone, she got pissed off at her husband for not being supportive. And it unleashed a bevy of insults and disrespect and all of this. And of course, they're pissed off at each other. So, I mean, she goes about, oh, you don't support me. You're not there for me. And I mean, it's just crazy, 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 crazy. We can double up on the celebration. What are you talking about, Mary? He's right. Okay. Who is in the photo with Mark? That's Lindsey. Terry, that's Lindsey. Lindsey like attention because she always got away with it. Oh, of course, her family. You know what? This is because of her friends and family members just coddling the behavior. So, with a person like this, if nobody holds you accountable for how you act, and I don't mean random people, but people that are close to you, like her father or her brother or some of her very close friends, to say, look, I don't like how you talk to me, or don't you think how you talk to the waiter, or how you talk to this person, that person, or you think that was cool? That's not a nice thing to do. But because people probably said, well, there's Lindsey again. That's just how she is. Oh, that's Lindsey. Lindsey's always like that. People are going to do that type of behavior, then the person is going to think it's okay. People only do what you allow them to do. And so Lindsey has been allowed to be this way for a very long time. And she don't care. And what comes up comes out. And it is what it is. So yeah, you're absolutely right about the attention. My birthday is 424. April 24. Mary. There you go. But she used the fact that her helping him with the bed bug infestation and moving out and all of that is not being reciprocal when he didn't support her going back and forth with Katina. And so I'm glad they did have a conversation between each other, because this opened the door to kind of discuss their past relationships And they even find other things after that conversation even different. He doesn't mind recycling his exes. However, she don't go back to her exes. And she talks about how she need consistency, support from a partner. And then we heard Mark on a sidebar saying that he wants to stay in the present and remain positive, but he don't know if that's going to be possible with the way things are going with the two of them. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Do exes stay exes, or would you go back with an ex and possibly marry him? I mean, I've heard of people that do that. I guess it depends on you. I mean, if that's something that you made a big mistake. He feel he made a big mistake, and you decide, you know what, let's work this out. We broke up over petty stuff. We're good together. Or do you say, nope, when I'm done, I'm done? So um, Mark takes. So then they had this whole sushi dinner. I personally only eat veggie sushi. So me myself, I'll get like a vegetable tempura roll, or I don't. The what they was eating to me look absolutely raw, and there's no way. I mean, to each his own. I couldn't do it. It was a big no for me. Lindsay shouldn't help someone if she has to keep reminding them. That doesn't make you no. If you're going to keep using this as leverage to say, well, and keep score, that's what it's calling. You're going to keep score. Every time I did something for you, I'm going to bring it up because da, 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 da. No, that's not a kind thing to do. You are absolutely right, Terry. Um, but even though the whole sushi thing is foreign, I gotta give it to him. He still tried, even just a little bit. I personally doesn't is not interested in that type of sushi, but I guess yeah, I'm black too. No way I'll be eating something that raw black. You're so funny. I couldn't do it. I mean, I like the veggie rolls. They're really good. Get me the little sweet and sour dip. It's a place over here, where not far from where I live. And they have absolutely veggie sushi. Even the supermarket, they sell it. It's pretty good, but I can't do the raw salmon and the raw. That stuff look absolutely raw. I couldn't do it. But they they obviously mended fences somewhere because we saw them go kart riding. They had a good time. They were very competitive with each other. The question is, I think they probably will stay together, but it was raw. I was drooling. Oh, you like it, Tassie? Well, have at it, girl. I can't do it. Not me. Nope. No, thank you. You can have the whole tray. Not me. But I can see with this up and down, dynamic that they have going. It's possible that they could end up staying together, but do I see long lasting years with them? No, I do not. Because at some point it's going to get volatile, and even when we said that Jasmina is a Scorpio, Mark is too. I think he's holding his tongue. And because, like I said, Scorpio people can be really intense. And, he's holding his tongue. And she's just pretty much, she's saying what she's saying. So I don't see long term for them. They might do the up and down dynamic for a while, but long term, I don't see it. Mark loves Lindsay. I think he does too. I mean, he wanted this so bad that he applied for the show twice. So he definitely wants to be married. He wants to be in a relationship where he's married. The question is, how long is he going to stay married to her? That's the question. I'm going to go with these two saying yes on the day, but I don't give them. Yeah, I would think that they could say yes on decision day, but after it's all over, I don't see this long lasting. Not at all. Mm-mm. Nope. Terry says, I don't get it. Did I miss something or did no one dress the horrid bowling alley? We did that last because that was on the last week episode, which was episode number 9. Yesterday was episode 10, I think. And so yeah, we did address that last week, Terry. You don't remember? Yeah, we talked about it on the last live last Saturday. But yeah, I even addressed it a few minutes ago about her behavior, and all this started because of the whole, headbutting pretty much in the conversation with Katina. And because she didn't want to back down, he wasn't happy. He said, you already got bad blood with them. And then she hurled a whole bevy of insults, screaming in the bathroom, screaming. So everybody in that entire bowling alley heard her. And unfortunately, production had the audio recording because they wanted it for drama. So they allowed it. Um, Mary says you can love someone all you want, but if you don't mesh love, it's not going to do it. That's true. Mark could be suffering from Stockholm syndrome. I'm not a mental health professional, but that's possible. I mean, if he is the type that, because with that whole conversation that they had about her saying when it comes to an ex, she's done. Whereas with him, he recycle exes, he'll go back. It's possible, if that might be the case. But like I said, I don't see this long term at all. At all. At all. And it's so unfortunate because I think if they can get their communication straight, I think they could actually be good together. But yeah, because they really like each other. But it's just some issues here I think Lindsey has from her past, and I kind of talked about that on on the last live that I did with you guys about abandonment issues in her past. So, she has a guard up every time she thinks somebody's going to run, and then she, instead of saying let's talk about it, she attack. So, yeah, it's not cool. But long term, I don't think so. We have, because we have no Alyssa and Chris this week, thank God. Thank God. But we do have this last couple. So I've been on social media throughout the day, and I was wondering because I thought sure that he was going to get dragged in social media. Actually, there's a split going on in social media, a huge split, and I was actually surprised. So let's talk about Katina and Olajuwon. So they had a heated argument the night before, and it came because she didn't feel like cleaning after the whole um housewarming. Is that, yeah, housewarming? After the housewarming, she didn't feel like cleaning. So instead of understanding or offering, instead of, saying, hey, can you help me clean? I guess he cleaned the house himself because we got to see that whole video. He cleaned up the kitchen, and um, yeah, it turned from bad to worse. Now, remember, they're at week 2, so they barely know each other. Now, there's part of social media that's saying, "Oh, he's an abuser. Oh, he is what's the word? Chauvinistic." All types of phrases is coming out. People are saying she shouldn't be barefoot and pregnant, a maid, all these different things. Because Olajuwon and his definition of being a wife. Now, there's the other side of social media that says, I don't like Olajuwon's tone, but because the way he delivered the message and his delivery was absolutely wrong. At the same time, He knows what he wants from a wife, and she also know what she wants from a husband, and they both need to bring something to the table, and that he had every right. Because here's the thing, they did mention in the episode, or he mentioned that he bought his own house, he paid off all his student debt, he has no debt, he works night shifts and day shifts. He worked multiple shifts, and you can tell because the boy looked like he was exhausted. He was exhausted. And one thing about this show is that you still got to film for hundreds of hours, even if you're working. But the social media was split right down the middle. Here's my take on it. And I'm not gonna speak, because he was the delivery in his message was not the right thing to do. Okay, I agree with that. In my current relationship, I have to bring something to the table. I am not the table. I have to bring something to the table. Just like I expect things from him, he also expect me to bring something to the table too. And we communicate effectively, not condescendingly, what our wants are, what our needs are, what we like, and what we need from each other, right? So whether that's emotional support, whether that's I like steak, or I know that I need something because I also have a beauty brand where I make skincare and stuff like that. He makes my labels for me. He's just out of the blue say, "Hey, I think you need to update your labels. I think these would be great." I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, this is so sweet. Thank you so much." And I've been using them ever since because he's a graphic designer. So I also know on the flip side, because I love to cook, I know what he likes. I know what he don't like. I know what he like to eat. I know what he don't like to eat. You know, and the thing about that is that when you're in a relationship, you are interdependent. You both are bringing something into the other person's life. Now, when you communicate what you want from that person, it has to be respectful and it has to be effective. You cannot come with condescending tones, loud, angry, because this conversation that Olajuwon could have had with Katina, she was open to receive what he had to say, but it really went to a whole nother level, which we saw her in tears because of his delivery. If he had said, "You know what, I know you were tired. I get it. I cleaned up the kitchen. Next time, can you help me?" She would have probably been, "Sure, fine. Okay, no problem." She even tried. She said, "I know how to cook salmon. I'm going to show you how I cook salmon." And they did the little salmon date together. He cannot continue on this trajectory with that tone when you want something from somebody. Now, there were people in Facebook that were saying, "She's 30 years old. You should know how to cook by now. Don't you take care of your own house? You should know how to clean. We all are tired." And a lot of that came from wives and, people that have been married for a number of years. And then, of course, you had the other side calling people old fashioned and all of that. Listen, again, to each his own. But the thing is, when you're in a marriage, these people are not dating. When you're in a marriage, you both got to bring something to the table. His thing is he has to communicate better without being condescending. He have to deal with his delivery when you're trying to impress something. And at the same time, if she's putting in the effort to say, "You know what, I got to learn how to grocery shop." Because remember last week, she only came home with bread and water. This is something that she never has done before, you know. So it's pretty interesting. Let me go into the comments because I know y'all got a lot to say. Let's see. Um, Okay, so David says split. Wow, I'm surprised. Yeah, I was surprised because I cringed. I don't like bullying in social media. I know it happens, but I was like, I am not going to Facebook today. And so I have to, because I share my videos when I do videos and stuff like that. I share them into the Married at First Sight groups. But actually, and these were women actually saying she's 30 years old. She should know how to do some of the basic things. She should come to the table where you can't come here and just look cute and pretty. I mean, I've seen it all. I did see the slew of people calling him an emotional abuser and a chauvinist and, things like that because of his delivery. He talked to me that way. I had to dress him down. Ooh, I heard that, Mary. The first side is the modernist idea of being a woman or a wife. He definitely knows what he wants, but I feel that his in this type of process where you never met the person before and are able to get it clear on what the two of you are looking for. Okay. Olajuwon wants her to fulfill her wifely duties. That's Pixman. They both should share the chores, but they need to discuss each other's expectations and not dominate the other. Absolutely. You have to communicate respectfully and effectively. And the thing is that we got to remember, outside of the fact that this man is working all shifts, because it sounds like he swing shifts. So sometimes he work days. My brother works for a refinery. And so he has those shifts where they can swing all through the day. He can start at 6 in the evening and work to 6 in the morning. At the same time, Elijah is still getting up cooking breakfast every day for the two of them. And he cleaned the kitchen after everybody was gone. So I get it in a way, but it's how you deliver the message. I'm not saying he got to talk to her as if he was one of, her female friends, because he's still her husband, but you don't have to be condescending. Um, let's see. He probably spoke in a rough tone because of being tired. You can tell that man's eyes were so red. He looked like he was ready to go to bed. He didn't even look like he wanted to be filming. LOL, you not the table. That's right. Don't get this mixed up. Yeah, that's the norm. I've been hearing that lately, like on TikTok, where women are being asked what you bring to the table, and they be like, "What table? I am the table." No, the table is your life. There's two people on the end of each side of that table. What are you bringing into the relationship collectively? That's what that means. Interdependent modern woman are in a marriage. You should be interdependent, but a lot of times, people think, and listen, for some people that work. If you have an independent person in the marriage, if that person is like, go ahead and do your thing, live your life the way you want to, we're just together, it can, I guess, but usually in a marriage you got to be interdependent. E-love, hey, you just got here. Welcome again. I would have snapped out on Olajuwon. He's abusive and overbearing. Katina need to run. Child, couldn't been me. Oh, thank you for the hey. I look at that. I saw you and spoken. You had already spoke to me. Okay. I don't like the way O was talking to her. Absolutely. His delivery was horrible. I'm in the Facebook MAFS group too. Oh, okay. Oh, really? What does he do my brother? He's actually he's in the higher ups. He works at the executive level, but he tends to kind of direct and order folks what to do. I'll just say it like that. Thanks for all the hearts, E-Love. I appreciate it. But yeah, it was pretty interesting because when I watched that, I've been rooting for them, honestly. And I was cringing watching yesterday's episode. I was like, no, don't do this. Oh, don't. Because number one, it's not good what he did in that conversation. But I also know how social media works. And especially when it comes to men. So I was like, oh, I was dreading to open my Facebook because I don't see a lot of that on Instagram. I don't know if it's just a different demographics that comes up in my feed. But Facebook, oh my gosh, I was thinking that this man was going to be on the stake with pitchforks and everything. But actually, there were a lot of women who did not support his tone, but supported what he was asking for, which was interesting. I was actually shocked. Like you said, David, you were shocked. I was shocked too. And I was reading through some of these comments, and there was threads of women saying, yeah, his tone was bad, but I understand the message. Yeah, he expects something from her too. She can't just come in here not knowing to do anything. I was like, wow, okay. I was shocked because I thought sure this was going to be a social media dragging. Seriously. Terry says they need to learn each other's job. Oh, has different work demands. Katina has dining out review blog. Yes, she does. But she also is a benefits calculation analyst, whatever that means. I don't know if she works for like an insurance company or something, because I think they said that she's working from home at that time during this filming of this episode. And I remember Olajuwon say, what's going to happen when you go back into the office? So she actually has a job, and I think she does the cooking blog on Instagram. And she got a nice little dining out blog because I actually checked it out. I think I follow it too. It's on Instagram. But he had mentioned that, look what we're doing right now, and I'm working all these hours and doing all this stuff, and you're working from home. A lot of people got offended with that, saying, what do you think she's doing? She's not just twiddling her fingers. I mean, you like I said, it's split. You got one side saying Olajuwon is trash, and then you got the other side that's saying I don't like his tone, but I understand where he's coming from. So I was weirdly surprised today, honestly, because most women would see that and be done. They would be done. But I gotta say, he has to take notice of the fact that Katina is trying. So they will. I look like from the previews next week, they're going to be sitting down with Dr. Viviana. Oh, and I have an announcement for you guys. I don't know if you've seen this on social media or heard it, but here's a little bit. So season 15, which is in San Diego, we are losing one of the experts. And the information was put out today. And you'll never guess. You guys in the comment section, guess which expert won't be on season 14. Let me know what you think. Tassie, you got to leave? Okay. Well, I'm probably going to do a commitment ceremony live on Sunday, so look out for that. Look out for that. Bye, Tassie. Wonder if Dr. Pepper going to chat with him. More than likely. More than likely. I know, like I said, next week, Dr. Viviana is going to talk with them. Uh, I want to see you guys as guesses, and then I'll let you know who it is. So, E-Love, you think it's Dr. Pepper. David think it's Dr. Pepper. So it's three experts. It's Dr. Viviana, it's Pastor Cal, and then it's Dr. Pepper. Yes. Season 15 is one of the current experts will no longer be there. So everybody think it's Dr. Pepper, huh? Okay. Really, really, really. Well, drum roll, please. It's actually Dr. Viviana. Yeah, so she won't be, according to the information that came out earlier today, she will not. Dr. Viviana will not be on season 15. And you know what? Here's the thing. I would say the experts do get a lot of flack from social media, because when these couples implode, especially after the whole last two seasons with season 12 and 13, and we had pretty much zero, except season 12, we had Brianna and Vincent come out of there, but it was 1 out of 5. And then season 13 had 0 out of 5. A lot of people blame the experts. A lot of people. I don't think they're bringing Dr. Jessica back, Kim. You know the reason why she, is no longer on the show, because she ended up with one of the contestants. So yeah, she was pretty loose. My thing is that I honestly think sometimes, in my opinion, and I could be totally off base. So, but I don't know. Sometimes I picked up that Dr. Viviana can be kind of biased towards certain members or certain couples and things like that over the previous season. I'm not sure about that, but that's just what I'm picking up. I'm not saying that that's a fact. So that chair seems to be ever revolving. At this point, she has a lot going on. She has her own style blog now. She has a actual practice in Texas. So with her notoriety that she's gotten since being on the show, she probably have built her own network now. So taking that network, doing her own thing now, hey, why not? you know. Oh, so you see what I'm talking about, E Love? Yeah, it seemed like she was kind of biased toward some of the cast members throughout the seasons. Some of them she would support, and people would be like, "How are you going to support that behavior when this person did A, B, C, D?" When the other person should have been maybe been held more accountable, but she went easy on them in certain circumstances. So a lot of people wasn't, I mean, I follow her on Instagram. She has some interesting tips on romance, because I love that type of stuff when it comes to trying to, use it in your relationship. So I pick up a couple tips from her every now and then. I like some of the stuff she do, but on the show, yeah, I could see why she would want to walk away. It was her choice. She it seems as if she stated that she wasn't let go or anything like that. So it was her choice. Elove said, especially last season, right? Keisha can pull a double. Keisha, I love Keisha on the after party. Now there are some folks that want Jamie back. I also thought in some cases Jamie was being a little biased as well, kind of like Dr. Viviana. So I was like, yeah, okay. But it seems like more tea comes out on the after party than it did on Unfiltered. Usually they just did a recap of the previous week. They might say a few things, but they never went in deep. Whereas this season on the after party, we see Keisha go in deep. I mean, we got stuff about behind the scenes at the airport. We got tea from Chris about what happened when they signed the marriage license, and Alyssa's behavior. So we got a lot of tea out of the after party. Um, she teaching people how to get it in. I know, right, David? Yeah, no Jamie. Yeah, I like Keisha. I like her. Never watched Unfiltered with Jamie. I used to do recaps on Unfiltered, but after a while I was like, you know. Keisha's doing an amazing job. Yes, she is. The girl asked the right questions. She called people out. She ain't as bad as Dominica, but she calls people out and she does it respectfully, but she get to the point. She get to the bottom of stuff. She get the tea out of people. I like the after party. I don't watch it. It comes on so late here because it comes on an hour after the actual episode ends. So I'm on the central time zone. So when it goes off at 9 o'clock at night, it doesn't come back on to 10 o'clock. And by that time, I just record it and I'll watch it the next day or so. It's like talking to a good girlfriend. Yeah, and then she come up with these little fancy drinks that they have, and she give it a name, and I think it's really cool. I like Keisha. I know there's a bunch of folks that don't, but it is what it is. So it is what it is. Jamie did fine in the early days, but the show needed Keisha. Yeah, times have changed. I'm wondering if Keisha was on the after party or Unfiltered back on season 12. what that would have went like, because that season was toxic. Ooh, season 12, I think. 13 had its levels too. 12 and 13 was the worst to me, you know. But yeah, I honestly, think that Keisha's doing an excellent job. I like her. I look forward to her show. She really get that tea about what happens that we don't see. She even got that tea behind what Lindsey was doing when Lindsey got in front of the cameras and was lying on Olajuwon, and the tea came out on the after party that she was the perpetrator. So yeah, we got all of that. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting week. I'm hoping for Katina and Olajuwon to bounce back. I will say Katina has to communicate to Olajuwon how his delivery made her feel, and he needs to be accountable for that delivery. Because seeing her cry and how she felt and how he was saying things, that does not go unnoticed. And she has to let him know that that's not okay. You can talk to me about anything you want, but please deliver it in a manner that is is in a respectful way. There's nothing wrong with telling your partner what you want from them. It's how you deliver that message. Which season 12, Kim, season 12, which was what Paige and Chris was on. Jamie started putting in her own ideas, too much of herself. Yeah, she was pretty much trying to. And so I get, and a lot of people start complaining. I mean, when I watch how social media responds to things, and there were a lot of people that was not feeling Jamie. They was like, oh, I'm tired of her, blah, blah, blah. And so I don't know if production was like, you know what, it's time for a change. Let's see if we can do something different. So yeah, they brought in a new host and kind of switched up the ambiance. So I thought it was pretty darn cool. But I'm curious to see where these two, again, because this is our last couple that we're going to talk about for this show. Um, I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go from here. He has to come back and say, look, I shouldn't have said what I said. I do want those things from you. I know you want things from me, but I cannot talk to you in the manner that I did, because that was not the right way to say what he said. It just wasn't. And as much as I root for a couple, again, I call it down the middle. My thing is he shouldn't have did what he shouldn't have did. He shouldn't have said the way that he said it. Communicate effectively, not condescendingly. Yeah, she is a talent. I remember her as being Miss Rudy Huxtable on the Cosby Show. I don't think they're going to make it. Well, Kim, we got to wait and see. We got to wait and see. We have to wait and see. According, and I won't say who, but out of the 5 couples, there are supposed to be 3 that will say yes. That's all I'm going to say. Mary says he doesn't tone it down, he'll make her cry again. Yeah, she has to also put up boundaries. She doesn't have to be like Jasmina on steroids or anything, but she has to let him know how that makes her feel. She has to say, you cannot talk to me like that. I'm sorry. I'm open. I want to work with you. We got to work this marriage. You can tell me, talk to me. I'm going to, because there's obviously some things that she needs from him. So it's not like this is one-sided. Some people want to make it look like, oh, he's trying to get her to do everything. Oh no, I can guarantee you Katina also wants something from him too. We just don't get to see that. We don't get to see that. She don't want somebody who's not working. She don't want somebody who's a bum. She don't want somebody who's a scrub, as a lot of the women claim that they don't want. So I know she want things from him, but he also want things from her too. That's how marriage works. That's how committed relationships work. Two people have to bring things to each other. And then when you want something, you have to communicate that effectively. And I'm not saying this is the case in my situation, but if I tell my partner, can you be more affectionate? I don't need to be rude about it and say, well, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And I expect you to be the ABCD. No, that's not the right thing to do it. You sit the person down and say, hey, you're doing a great job at this, that, and the third. I also would like you to do more of this. What do you think? That's how you do that. And that's the problem. People don't know how to resolve conflict appropriately, and they don't know how to communicate effectively. David says she needs to find her voice. That's the main problem. Yeah, she needs to find her voice and speak up, but I don't want her to do the exact same thing that Olajuwon is doing. Because a lot of people were saying she needs to come back with fire and brimstone and all of this. Two wrongs don't make a right. She can set boundaries and find her voice, but she don't have to do what he did either. Um, RTV has the T, so don't make her reveal. No, I'm not gonna tell you. You're right, Pixman. I'm not gonna say who, what, when, where, and why. I think they can make it if he's willing to compromise. Seems like she will. He needs to understand if mopping floors before bed is so important, then he should do it, which he did. And that's why he did it, because he said, I guess because I think his mom is Irish. So I don't know if how their household was ran or how he was brought up or whatever. But he mentioned something about saying that he don't go to bed without the house being cleaned at night. I'm thinking that's something that he was raised with. You don't hear most men saying that. You don't hear most men say going to bed without cleaning the house. I mean, I'm not going to say that there aren't any men out there that think that way, but from what I know, I've heard, or you don't hear most men saying you don't go to bed without having the house clean. The only thing I can think of is that that's how he was raised. So people are usually a product of their environment. And if his mom raised him by telling the kids, y'all got to clean up before you go to bed, or you got to shower before you go to bed, or you got to do this or that, or this is what I do in the house, and this is what the men are supposed to do. It also comes down to how he was raised. You know what I'm saying? So I think O likes to play the cameras. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, because that boy looked like he was exhausted. His eyes was red. He looked like he was tired. He looked like he was frustrated. So I don't know if in that moment he was playing. Kim said he also said my house. Yeah, he did. I thought it was a shared space. That's again her needing to say, listen, we live in this house. This is our space. It's not just yours. David RTV, come on, I think like that, and I ain't Irish. Okay. Hey, let's listen. Thanks for making me aware. I apologize, David. I gotta give you that. Yeah, but I mean, I don't hear that often from men, they're saying you better clean up this house before we go to bed. So he got that from somewhere. Somewhere he got that from. And I'm thinking that's how the household he was brought up in, maybe that's how they was doing things. But he got to come back with some apologies, because yes, you want what you want from your spouse or your significant other, but your delivery was trash. That delivery, absolutely. He was, but seems to me from the beginning. Yeah, in the beginning, he was acting real crazy. At the bachelor party, when he was talking to Katina's mom at the wedding, yeah, he was really off the charts. But he did give some sound advice at the honeymoon when it came to Alyssa and Lindsey, or was it Alyssa? So I got to give it to him. The boy got some smarts, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, and again, we can't continue to say, oh, because he is ADHD managed with medication, but you also got to learn that you just can't deliver that type of message to your wife. Sorry, you know. He called her Katrina in the beginning. He sure did. He sure did. I honestly think that they have. I'm thinking they're going to make a turnaround. Um, Maybe after the conversation with, because they had a conversation with Pastor Cal already last week, so they're going to have a conversation with Dr. Viviana. So just like I think Married at First Sight Australia had Intimacy Week, next episode, I think Dr. Viviana is going to have the couples do some intimacy exercises, because I seen stuff like blindfolds and handcuffs and stuff next week. So, and it seemed like they were in a good place from the previews. So hopefully they bounce back from this. Hopefully, all these couples, the four that's left, make some. I don't know about Michael and Jasmina. They got some work to do. But everybody else, hopefully, they all start to make a move forward, because we coming up on halfway the season. We're at almost a month, because their month anniversaries should be coming up pretty soon. So I think this episode ended on week 3 for them. So 1 month anniversary should be coming up in the next couple episodes, which means that we'll be halfway through the season. So hopefully we see some improvements, you know. Let's see. He was speaking to her like she's a child. Yeah, that delivery was trash, Kim. He called Katrina. He was stand up about Lindsey though. Yeah. He was stand up. He sure did. That advice he gave, absolutely. Dr. Pepper usually show up toward the end. So usually Pastor Cal comes in first. Then Dr. Viviana do the intimacy stuff. And then we usually see Dr. Pepper toward the end of the season. Wait, while we gotta be blindfolded and handcuffed, though that's trauma. David, you are hilarious. You are too funny. Oh my gosh. Hey, listen, whatever is creative and fun, I mean, people spice up their relationships in different ways. So, whatever floats your boat, right? Whatever floats your boat. But other than that, yeah, no Krista Alyssa this week. Lindsey and Mark, I think they're going to continue to have ups and downs. Steve and Noy, hopefully if Noy don't do what she did last week, they'll be fine. And then Jasmina and Michael, I don't see it. I don't know if she's really into Michael like that. And it's so unfortunate, because they could possibly work, but I just don't see the two of them on a deeper connection. I mean, she felt for him in the moment with the tears and the bullying conversation on the honeymoon, but it's not that deep connection where it's bringing them together. Let me see. Yep. And then of course Katina and Olajuwon. Yeah, this here's a deep hole they didn't put themselves in, because they also had the love conversation. And she said that she could see herself fall in love with him, but he said right now, with the way things look, love is not on the table. He said, I really like you, but right now, love is not on the table until I can see where our marriage is going and how we show up in this marriage. Um, love you too, dear. Always chopping it up. Yes, 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 David. Yes, yes, yes. We love you too. I'm glad you come and support my channel. I'm glad all of you guys, even the ones that are just listening in the background and on my replays, I appreciate all of you supporting the lives, the reviews, the videos, the channel all together. I really, truly appreciate you guys. We have a good time over here. This is a judgment free zone. This is a safe space to have a good time. We're not biased and one sided over here, and I love it with you guys. So I appreciate you so, so much. I usually don't get to have these conversations in other spaces because somebody is angry at somebody and they wait who they're angry with. But I try to see both sides. I see what this person is doing and what they can improve on. I see what you are doing and what you can improve on. So that's what we do over here. I'm glad you caught us too. Shanice, we're not coming up in here fighting now, okay? He made you mad? Yes. His delivery was horrible. But like we were discussing a little while ago, in a relationship, there's things that both people need to bring to the table. Now, I did say earlier when I first started talking about Olajuwon and Katina is that social media has been split down the middle. There are people that are dragging Olajuwon, calling him an abuser and a chauvinist and things like that. There's also the other side of social media, surprisingly, that didn't like his tone, but they also understand that not only does a woman want something out of a marriage, a man wants something too. So we were just talking about those two sides. Yep, yep, yep. Um, he works a lot of hours, Shanice. He did say that he works both swing shifts, and like I was telling some of the other cast members, telling some of the other chat people in the chat. When people work swing shifts, like my brother does that, he works 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning, and when you are on this show, you still got to film, and they do hundreds of hours of filming. So imagine working a night shift and then you got to stay up and still do filming because you got a contract to fulfill, and you pissed off that the house was dirty and all that kind of stuff. And again, the thing is that his delivery it was trash. Delivery was trash. But I know people on Reddit was saying about, whoa, was he high? No, the boy was tired. The boy been working a lot of hours, and then you still got to film all day because some of these filming sessions are 8 to 10 hours a day. So you didn't work 8 hours, 12 hours, depending on your job. And then because you sign a contract to be on the show, they expect you to film. They expect you to do all of this. So yeah, he was exhausted. He was exhausted. Plus the type of he worked for the state. So, and I know with the state jobs, I don't know about in Massachusetts. I know here where I am, they drug test you all the time. So I don't think for him paying off his house and everything else that he had to do, I don't think he want to put that in jeopardy. Plus, put his social media cred on jeopardy. And then for the show, because I remember Merla, they recorded her last season drunk talking to Dr. Pepper, but I don't know about drugs on set. So I don't want to put that out there. I do know he said he worked a lot of hours, so the possibility is because of all the filming hours and the working hours, the man was exhausted. Don't get me wrong, I still love Ola and Katina, but yeah, the delivery, Shanice, was terrible. Was terrible. Yeah, Kim Shane on Love Is Blind. I know that people were saying on his wedding day something was wrong with him because it's like he was tweaking. I don't know, but he wasn't acting himself like what we saw at the honeymoon or when he was with Natalie and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's the only thing. So they need a villain edit. I don't know who's going to be the big villain now that Alyssa's gone, whether it's going to be spread out or whether it's going to be Lindsey, or are they trying to make Olajuwon the new villain? I don't know, but we'll have to see. I know on Love Is Blind, Shake is the villain. He's the villain during the season, and he's the villain at the reunion tomorrow. So Social media is dragging, and Deep D's family is dragging. I whew, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Somebody posted, say, "Hey, would you ever sign up for a dating reality TV show?" I said, "Absolutely not. Hell to the no, no, no. Not me." Um, Mary said the real test is for O is if he takes experts' advice, he's surely going to get it. Yeah, I hope so, because I think Katina's a good one, you know. And I mean, she's trying. She's trying. So, I would hope that eventually he see the error, well, eventually, as soon as possible, see the error in his ways with how he delivered that message and make some changes, but we'll have to see. I don't see how Shake can recover. Yeah, I don't see how either. Oh, by the way, for the Married at First Sight Australia fans, I think Ella and Mitch was getting a lot of hate this week. So they had shut off the comment section on both of their social medias. You cannot comment or anything on any of their pictures. They, again, a united front. They both collectively decided to shut off their comment section on their Instagram accounts. So the problem with Shake is that he's trying to fight an uphill battle because that social media is dragging him right now, and he's fighting against it, and he's digging himself in a further hole. The more he fight, it's like he's in quicksand. And you know how when you fight in quicksand, the more you fight, the quicker it pulls you under. That's what's happening with Shake right now. He is in quicksand, and to me, honestly, what he needs to do, especially after tomorrow, because I guess he posted yesterday that producers told him that he was going to get the villain edit from the reunion. So yeah, he already know, and he said he's prepared for it. If I was him, I would probably take a break from social media. I would most definitely take a break from social media. I mean, because the more he tries to explain himself, the more people don't believe him. They hate him, they drag him. He just needs to take a break. And I know his business as a veterinarian is based off of Instagram, but I have a feeling this is probably going to impact his business. He needs to let this stuff kind of die down for the moment. Give it about 6 months. He can still run his business, but he's going to have to take some time away from social media. However, Deep D, on the other hand, is on the opposite end of the spectrum. Deep D is now almost a 500,000 followers on Instagram. People are loving her right now. So, yeah, that's where, yeah, she's on the opposite end of the polar spectrum. They can't stand him, and she's getting a lot of love. Um, don't worry if don't worry if you go. We're gonna be supporting you. Okay. I appreciate that, David. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I sent you some videos. Okay, cool. I'll check. You sent them to my email. Why I like Ella from Married First Sight, not so much Mitch. Well, okay, so they dragging Mitch a little bit because of how he called the cast members idiots, that the show is toxic. I don't want to be here. They're saying that he's being controlling, and so he was getting that type of stuff. On the flip side, Ella has hers turned off because they're saying that she's being too passive. You're not being strong enough. Why are you letting this man control you? And they don't want to hear it. They are not here for it. And like most cast members say, you don't know the whole story. You haven't seen everything. So they just don't want to deal with it. They're not going to do like Shake and try to fight it. They're like, I don't have to listen to it. So they turned off their social medias. Um, Deep T is dating. That's what I heard too. Um, Somebody said Kyle, and then somebody said the other guy. I forgot his name. Mallory's guy, Sal. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out after tomorrow. So, yep, but that's what's going on. I think I like Love is Blind season 2 better than season 1, honestly. I will say that two couples are still together. Lauren and Cameron is still together, and Barnett and his wife or girlfriend, I think yeah, his wife, they're still together. A couple of the other cast members married other people that weren't on the show, but they are married now, and some of them got kids. So, hopefully, I'm hoping that Jarrett and Ayana is still together. People have been sending stuff saying that it's pointing to the fact that they are, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Um, it looks like Danielle and what is her husband's name? I forget. I don't know why I want to call him Mark, but Danielle and her husband, and I don't know about everybody else. So we'll have to wait and see till tomorrow. Season 1 was better. Okay, you like season 1, huh? Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. It was the first season. I know there was a Love Is Blind Japan, Brazil, and I haven't been really able to get into those. I think has there been a Love Is Blind Australia? Do you know, guys? Oh, Kim, you heard it was Sal? Okay. Wow. That would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Season 2 seemed rushed. Oh, okay. Are you saying because it was only 3 weeks and when it was in February? Oh, so all of you guys like season 1. Okay. Yeah, I like season 2. I like season 2. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the reunion tomorrow. And I know they posted really early, so I am looking forward to that. Let me ask you guys, would you want to do and drop a yes or no or I don't care in the comment section? Would you want to do a Love is Blind reunion live? Yes or no? Love is Blind reunion live. I'm going to wait for your responses. If not, that's fine. We don't have to do a Love is Blind reunion live. We will do on Sunday a commitment ceremony live as usual. But I want to know, Kim says yes. Terry says yes. Who else? 2 yeses so far. David, okay. BF Fly Nick. Okay. B Fly Nick. Okay. Who else? Anybody else? That's 3 yeses. I don't care. I don't watch. Okay. I just have to make sure I watch it. Okay. So what I'll do is because the reason that I did a Thursday episode of Married at First Sight is because I got my daughter's coming to town this weekend. So tomorrow and Saturday I'm going to be really busy. So I want to make sure I took care of you guys with this live and get it out the way and chit chat with you all. But yeah, Sunday I am going to be out and about. So I'll just make sure I watch. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll give you guys some time to watch it. And then I'll schedule something early, maybe next week. Because I don't want to get too far away from the reunion, right? But I'll probably do something early next week where we can do a live on the Love is Blind reunion. Kim said, don't have fun with your fam. Yeah, so she's coming in tonight, actually. So after I get off this live, probably in another 3-4 hours, she'll be here. I got to go pick her up. And she's leaving on Sunday. So Hey, Jacinta, where you been, girl? Family first. Absolutely. Have a great time with family time. Aw, will do. I will tell them thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I got date night on Saturday with my boo. So I gotta hang out with family and I got date night on Saturday. Cause listen, as much as I talk about these couples, I gotta make sure mine is good too. Oh yeah, we will. We got plans already. I got to get my feet ready and cuz we're going to be doing some walking tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to be doing some things tomorrow and having a good time and everything. E-love, oh nice, have fun. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this call. I'm gonna chill out before she gets ready to come in because she had to work today. Um, and then she had a couple other things before she come in. So that's why it's so late. But it is what it is, and we're gonna have a good time. Yes, David, I got date night on Saturday night. Yes, yes, yes. Um, yeah, we got to make sure we keep it good over here too. I can't be speaking about other relationships and I ain't doing my part over here, right? I was walking outside with my pets. It was a lovely, just came and sit down and saw a stream. Well, you know what? It will be posted very shortly. So if you kind of want to listen to the replay to see what we had to talk about, because we've been on here for a little bit. Yeah, you'll have plenty to listen to. Um, Kim said, I need a boo. Did you get it from Amazon? No. You're so silly. You are so silly. And listen, I actually might get a chance to wear a look. It's getting warm. It's supposed to be 70 degrees here on Saturday almost. So I might get to wear my heels this weekend because I mean he's 6'7". So even if I put heels on, I will still be a decent height. I wish you a good weekend with your honey and your family. Yeah, it's all good. Absolutely. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, with that's what we plan to do. I hope you guys have a great weekend as well. Actually, I'm in the States. I'm in Illinois. I am in Illinois. So we have been longing to get out of the winter weather. We are longing to get out of the winter weather. Where's who, brother? What are you talking about, Kim? What are you talking about? Yes, actually, I'm pretty tall myself. I'm 5'10". So me being 5'10", him being 6'7", yeah, it works out. Have a great time. You all too. Yes, we will have a great time. You guys have a great time too. I am going to relax before my daughter comes in, and I will see you guys on Sunday when we do the commitment ceremony live. And I'll keep you guys posted about the Love is Blind live. So, other than that, we will see you next time, guys. See you later. And also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, Romance Review TV, if you want to support the channel, my cash tag is right there as well. And hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed this live stream. So until Sunday, we'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend.